29, Sam Wells. Inside linebacker number 56, Jake
You want to run through the line.
Corner number 23,
Key
John
players.
Thompson.
Actually,
Safety number 4, Matt Ment. Corner number 25, Scott Cunningham. Safety number 28, Jeff
send
Thompson.
it to him. Send it to Jim. This is over. We're going to send it to you for actually. We got 3 minutes. This is over up there. All right. Thanks, buddy. Run the promo, run the promo. Yes. Thank you, Arthur. You the man. You are the man, Big Daddy. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about the new coaches. So there's some new faces around, besides the players. Now I'm going to run about the coaches.
The Lindenwood Lions captains are Mario Penn and Matt Ment.
Back here on the field, it's Lindenwood Lions against the McKendree Bearcats. The Lions have been introduced, and Blake, we got some new coaches on the team this year.
I tell you, along with a lot of new faces under those helmets, there's a lot of new faces on the sidelines with the head coach, Dan Kratzer. He has gone out and got Mike Gardner, a new special teams coordinator, Joe Hicklin, a new defensive backs coach, former quarterback, and many people here in St. Charles know has moved to now the offensive line coach, and he has taken over an offensive line, and he has developed this group. Last year, he stood behind the offensive line, and they struggled a little bit, but having talked with Corey, they have really stepped it up, and that's one of the strengths of this ball club.
As we look out, the coin toss is just about ready to be made. The Bearcats will be in their white uniforms with purple numbers and gold pants, and the Lions be in their black unis, gold pants as well, with the white letters, and boy, you can tell they're fired up and ready to go.
Yeah, I tell you, Jim, both these teams have been ready to rock and roll for a couple weeks now. Lindenwood has been through two-a-days for now, probably about 6 weeks now. This hot sun here in St. Louis, and it's time to kick off the battle of the Mississippi River for small colleges.
Okay, let's see. McKendree has won the toss. They've elected to receive. The Lions will kick off as kicker Bill Levy will tee it up here. As we'll get this season underway, and like you said earlier, Blake, you know these teams are ready to hit somebody else besides their own uniform. They've been just going through these practices for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see both these teams. Whichever team comes out and executes is going to be the team that wins this ball game. Looking across the field here, McKendree has brought a huge crowd along with them.
Levy will tee it up as the Lions will set up. Rory O'Connell is back deep along with number 34, Donald Brooks, as Levy approaches the ball, and there's the boot, and we're off. O'Connell takes it at about his 4, takes it to the 10, and he's in trouble, and he's buried there. Good tackle on special teams. He barely got back to the 13-yard line.
And that's what we're in here for. Last year, the team would kind of lackadaisical on special teams, and here, as you see, the opening kickoff, the Lions downfield quickly, make the tackle at about the 13.
McKendree will open up with a wishbone offense. They're definitely going to be looking to run the ball today, and that's pretty typical with the first-year team looking to run the ball, not get onto the open field with the pass. They set up as Carnes. Jason Carnes, number 14, is the quarterback. They give out to number 34, running outside across the 15 down to about the 17-yard line. Nice run there by Donald Brooks as he was flashing across the side.
Yeah, and I think outside is going to be where McKendree has to go with the ball. Along with Birch, the All-American in the middle, is big number 75, the nose guard, Mike Choate. This guy can flat out play some football. He's in there at nose guard, and he's a man on a mission tonight as he just throws blockers out of his way.
That'll bring up a second down call, as Carnes will bring his club to the line. He sets it up. Checks out the defense. There's the snap and the ball to first back through and tackled for only a gain of a couple. Looked like the fullback, Gerard Carnes, got the call.
Yes, it did, Jim. And something to note is this isn't your typical wishbone. As you watch teams, the Oklahoma Sooners of the late 80s, where they line up with a fullback and two halfbacks and just come at you. This is more like an Air Force where you bring the tee back in motion around. You always have somebody moving, which makes it extra tough on the defense.
3rd down and 6 now for the Bearcats. Carnes brings his club up to the line. Big stop needed here. They give it to number 34 again. Only a couple across the line there. Donald Brooks, they'll be short of the 1st down. Or maybe not. It was a little closer than I thought. They might have given them a better spot.
Looks like they'll bring out the sticks to measure this one.
They placed the ball just outside the 22-yard line. We'll have to wait for the measurement. It's taking a while to get the chains out here. You can tell the preseason is definitely here for the officials as well. A little rust. Let's see. They're going to get the measurement. Did he get it? Yes, he got the 1st down. 1st down, McKendree. And they'll take over there on about the 22-yard line. Another set of downs, and this is what they want to do. Run the ball and get 1st downs.
Yeah, something that you're not going to do on this Lindenwood Lion defense is throw the ball deep. They've got a very experienced secondary with John Cozy and Ryan O'Connor, along with Scott Cunningham back in the secondary, so they're going to stack 8 men up on the line and force you to throw it, hopefully.
Connor Smith, the first back through again, a gain of a couple, maybe. There on the carry was number 21, Gerard Carnes. And they're really trying to bust the ball up the middle there a couple times there.
Yeah, and that's not the way you're going to win against Lindenwood. They're getting these 2-3 yard carries. I think what they're doing is, if you watch a lot of college football, is bait the team into the middle and try and beat them outside with a big, quick back.
Carnes and Brooks seem to be the men in the backfield. Let's see. Carnes brings him up to the line, gives it to his brother Gerard Carnes, and he's sacked behind the line. He only got maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
That was number 56, Jake House, on the play. The young kid out of Oklahoma, and this guy is a chiseled specimen. He works in the weight room day after day after day, and he showed some strength there on that play as he moved the blocker, made the hit behind the line, which brings up a key 3rd down here early in the ball game.
They lost a yard on that play. They're placed at the 25-yard line. Clock runs with 12:25 remaining in this 1st quarter, just underway. Carnes brings his club to the line again. Gives it to Fakes. Throws over the middle and caught, and a 1st down. That's a tight end over there, number 80, Brett Gross.
That was John Cozy on the coverage. Number 23, a senior defensive back from California, and he's very, very good at the fundamentals. There he was just outmanned. The wide receiver from McKendree had a little more speed than John did, and John got over there a little late to make the play.
Pass was completed at the 36-yard line, brings up another 1st down and 10, and a little play-action pass really paid off there, Blake.
Yes, it did. Caught Lindenwood off guard a little bit, slowed him up.
Carnes brings his team to the line, 1st and 10 from the 36. Gives it to Morehouse. Morehouse, nice gain, about 5 or 6, right through the middle there. Joel Morehouse.
Yeah, expect Coach Naylor, the defensive coordinator for Lindenwood, if this continues, to stack 8 or 9 men up on the line, or in college football terminology, the box, if you will, up within 3-4 yards of the line and try and stuff this run and force Carnes to throw the ball.
From their own 41-yard line, the Bearcats have a 2nd down and 5. On the play again, another wishbone set. Carnes checks out the defense. You can see him starting to stack it up. They give it to make that Brooks. He battles through a tackle and then close to the 1st down. It'll be a couple yards shy, up to about the 44-yard line. Donald Brooks, the halfback, he's got a couple carries already today. He looks like he's going to be a workhorse.
Yeah, and it looks like McKendree's just come out here early in this ball game and said, we're going to try and move the ball, control the clock. We don't have a lot of ball games under our belt, obviously none in 45 years, but we're just going to try and control the clock, keep this to a low-scoring ball game, and maybe break one of these long runs.
3rd down and 3. Big chance here for the Lions to stop this drive. Play-action pass. Carnes sets up, looks over, looking for his tight end, broken up there. Nice play.
And that time John Cozy was ready for it. The safety from California got back. It was the same exact play they had run about 3 plays ago. The play-action pass had a man deep, and Cozy was there to tip the ball away, and it'll force the Bearcats into a punt.
Boy, Carnes, if he would have been able to touch that ball a little bit more, he might have had his tight end. He was behind the defender, but As you said, Cozy reached up at the last second, and McKendree will have to punt. They send in their punter, Brent Baker. And back deep for the Lions, it looks like it'll be
one of the more exciting players for Lindenwood, number 3, Gator Adams. This guy's a fun guy to watch. He's very elusive. He's a small kid, Gator is, at 5'8", 148 pounds. But he's one guy that just bounces off tackles time and time again.
Whistle. It looks like we got a flag into play. Illegal procedure against McKendree. That'll back him up another 5. So 4th and 3 now from their 38-yard line for McKendree. Or make that 4th and 8 now. And once again, McKendree will try and boot this one away. Be nice for the Lions to come up with a nice return here on special teams to start it off. There's the snap and the boot. Fairly average kick. Taking on about the 35 and then buried. Oh, Brooks. The fullback Brooks from McKendree just ran over number 81 there.
Yeah, that kick was kicked angled off to the left side, and starting wide receiver Mark Henry, number 81, dropped back to make that play, and he had no time. Might have been a better idea to call a fair catch there.
Yeah, McKendree was just run over by Brooks. No chance at all.
And here comes one of the stories of the year. The starting quarterback right now will be Max Brown. There's been quite a quarterback controversy here between Kevin Dyer and Max Brown. It looks like Brown will get the start.
Brown gets the start. It looks like they want to pass as they go 4 receivers on the first pass play. A throw over the middle, caught. And running with the football is Kevin Dyer. Dyer across the 40, almost to the 45. He's about down at the 44.
That was number 1 Dana Day that time that came across the explosive halfback. And I tell you, these two offenses couldn't be more different. Where McKendree is going to like to run the wishbone and pound it at you. These Lindenwood Lions come at you with a lot like San Francisco's West Coast offense. They throw 3, maybe even 4 wide receivers at you, have the quick back that comes at you and tries to score quickly.
3 receivers set again for the Lions. Brown fakes the handoff, sets, he looks, he throws, and intercepted. Oh my goodness, running with the football inside the 45, down to the 40, into Lindenwood territory, down at the 36-yard line. Boy, I tell you, Max Brown had 2 defenders in his face.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to set up a screen there. Brown let the 2 defenders come at him, and he just threw the ball up in the middle of the field. And that right there is one of the reasons Max Brown is not the everyday quarterback. He makes bad mistakes at times. Max Brown is a gifted athlete, but sometimes instead of just throwing that ball into the crowd or to the bench and avoid taking the sack, he just threw it up in the middle of the field, and there was Brent Baker, the 6', 200-pound sophomore, to make the play.
So that puts McKendree with a 1st and 10 on the Lions' 36-yard line. Definitely not what the Lions wanted on their first possession. Carnes brings his club to the line. Another play-action pass. He sets, he looks, he throws deep down near the end zone and incomplete. He's looking for his tight end, Gross again.
And I tell you, there was all kinds of pressure on the quarterback that time. They ran the play-action fake, but the linemen didn't bite on it. The linebackers didn't. They came on a bit of a blitz, and there was the man, Michael Choate, and Craig Birch all over Carnes before he threw that ball.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the 36. Lindenwood really needs a good defensive stop here. Take that momentum away from McKendree. Carnes brings his club to the line again. Checks out the defense with a wishbone. First back through. Nope, he keeps, and he's taken down. Nice tackle there. Right at the line of scrimmage. No yards there. Looked like Birch again.
There is Birch. He is everywhere. And I tell you, that I saw a couple other coaches from the Heart of America Conference here tonight, as Lindenwood's the only team from that conference playing, to scout Lindenwood. And I tell you, they're going to go back. They're going to tell their head coaches, they're going to tell their players, when we play Lindenwood, we've got to put 2, maybe even 3 guys on Craig Birch, because this man flat out can play the game.
Definitely Coach Kratzer wants to make a good showing here. Give those coaches and those scouts something to think about. 3rd down and about 10. And a fake and a give up the middle to the fullback. That is number 33, Joe Mohouse. Mohouse, maybe 4 or 5 on the play.
Yeah, and this is something else that for the Lindenwood defense, having a couple weeks to prepare for your first opponent, whereas next week they just have a couple days to prepare. This wishbone offense is one of the easier offenses to prepare for. It's very basic. It's just in your face. It says, this is what we're going to do. You try and stop us. And thus far, McKendree has moved the ball down the field.
4th down. Looks like they're going to go for it. Oh, and we got a whistle as we got some flags down. It looked like Lindenwood may have jumped on the play.
Yeah, it did. That in that range at the 33-yard line. The small college football that we have here at Lindenwood, that most of the NAI, you're not going to find many kickers that can bang it home from 48, 49, 50 yards. So 4th and 5, 4th and 6 from the middle of the field, you're going to see a lot of teams go for it, try and draw the other team off sides, as happened here, or just try and go for it instead of punting the ball down the field.
Looks like they're going to mark it off. That may be enough to give McKendree the first down. 9:02 to go. McKendree with the ball as it's now being marked at the 32-yard line of the Lindenwood Lions off a turnover. As Max Brown threw an interception. And they mark it off offside against Lindenwood. And that should give them still fourth down.
4th and short here. This should be interesting here, whether they go up the middle at Choate and Birch or they try and get it outside.
Ball marked just outside the 26-yard line. They probably got to get to the 25. Brooks running out to the outside. First down and more. Crashing, breaks tackles, and out of bounds inside the 20. Out to about the 16-yard line. And Brooks, the halfback, Donald Brooks, has been the workhorse so far for McKendree.
Yeah, they got it outside to Brooks. This kid can flat out run. Got it outside. He turned the corner, and there was Jeff Foster to make the play. But that was 7 yards too late after the first down.
That gives them a first down and 10 from about the 16-yard line. McKendree up again with the wishbone offense. Carnes brings his club to the line. Lindenwood definitely needs a stop here to give it to Morehouse. Morehouse darting through maybe a yard or two across. I make that Carnes, excuse me. Jared Carnes on the play.
Inside linebacker Sam Wells, the 6-foot sophomore for Lindenwood, made the stop there. And this linebacking crew, really, to be honest with you, this whole defense is coming back from last year, very experienced and a very aggressive unit. They need a stop here at 2nd and long inside the red zone.
We'll call it 2nd and 8. They gain 2 on the play. Carnes takes a snap, rolling with the ball, going through. He might go to the end zone, down to the 5, inside the 5. And he's tackled about the 2. Boy, who's a keeper. He faked to Morehouse going through the first time and just kept it, and no one was there to guard him.
Yeah, that was a neat play there. And they've been giving it to Brooks up the middle, Brooks up the middle. They faked to Brooks, and they ran the quarterback keeper outside. He just beat the Lion defense to the corner. And once the quarterback gets to the corner or a running back in this option offense, it's open daylight.
As we check out a 1st and goal now from the 3-yard line for the McKendree Bearcats. 7:56 remains in the first quarter. Carnes brings his club to the line. Gives it to, nope, he's a keeper, and he gets a couple. Maybe a yard.
Might have been a better decision to pitch the ball there as he ran right into the arms of our man, Mr. Craig Birch, who's already got 5 tackles, and there's still 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
That brings up 2nd down and 3 for the Bearcats. Well, you can really see Donald Brooks the last couple of plays has been down on a knee in that huddle. He's got to be tired, and that could be a factor later on.
Yeah, this is a good situation where these wishbone teams like to run the fake and hit the tight end, big number 80, across the middle.
We've seen them throw to Gross a couple of times a day. Here's a give to number 21, Brooks up the middle. I make that Jared Carnes, and he's over for the touchdown. Touchdown, McKendree.
The McKendree crowd, which, to be quite honest with you, is very large. One of the bigger road crowds that I've seen here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium on the campus of Lindenwood, is going nuts as they just scored their first touchdown in more than 45 years.
A long time coming. 7-10 here in the first quarter. McKendree takes the lead 6-0. Jared Carnes, brother of the quarterback, Jason Carnes, over for the score from 2 yards away.
Brent Baker on for the extra point, the man that started this all with the interception.
Snap back, ball down, kick up, and it's good. So 7-10 remains here in the first quarter. The score, a shocker. McKendree Bearcats 7, the Lindenwood Lions nothing.
Yeah, and while we have a moment here before we kick off, I'd like to note Lindenwood has moved to a new conference, the Heart of America Conference, and this conference is a conference they can win ball games in. They'll face teams Culver, Stockton, Evangel, Missouri Valley, Central Methodist, Mid-American Nazarene, whereas last year all throughout Lindenwood's schedule, you had teams that were ranked number 1, number 6, number 7, number 8 in the NAI in the whole country. Teams that were playing for national championships in NAI. So this is a conference Lindenwood can get some wins in, but they need to turn it around right here and get going with some confidence.
Dana Day stands back deep, along with number 3, Terrence Adams. Brent Baker will look to tee it off. 7-0. The McKendree Bearcats make the turnover pay in their favor, and the Lions definitely have to come back quick here on the offense. They approach the ball and boot it. That's a low line drive kick given to Adams. Adams at the 20, 25, 30, and almost broke it, almost. Across the 30, down at the 33, had a hole there, Blake.
Yeah, he did. Like I said, Gator Adams, Terrence Gator Adams is his name. He's exciting. He's one of those guys that gets down the field in a hurry and takes some hits. He's a small guy, and he almost broke that one. Here's some statistics, compliments of our sports information department here at Lindenwood College, sports information director Shane Boyer. That drive, 35 yards and 8 plays, time of possession 3 minutes, 13 seconds before the touchdown.
Brown brings his club first and 10 on her own 32-yard line, sends a man in motion, takes a snap and a give and a handoff, and nothing there at all. A loss of 2 on the play for sure. Looked like Dana Day with a carry and nothing there.
Yeah, Lindenwood's offensive line, according to offensive line coach Corey Neslich, says this is one of the strengths of the team. They don't run a lot. They like to put the ball in the air. They like to run those pass patterns, get the quick ride receivers the ball 3 to 5 yards down the field, and let them do something with it.
No gain, a loss of 4, 2nd and 14 from their 28-yard line. Brown with his receivers split. Looks like the defense may have jumped. Brown with a free play, sets and throws, and it's caught over the middle. And running with the football is number 2 across the 15 to the 40, to 40, 20, 15, 10, and he's tackled down by his feet down at the 5-yard line.
And if I may say, that's the offensive captain of this team, Big Mo Patton. That's Mario Patton here from the St. Louis area. This kid can flat out fly. If they wouldn't have had an angle on him, you could have put this game a tie ball game. Mario Patton caught the ball, and that's the play they like to run. Get him the ball 3, 4, 5 yards down the field and just outrun everybody.
We got a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is. I tell you what, Patton came off that flanker screen as they got good pressure up the middle, and there was nobody there to grab him as he broke right up the middle. And the play will stand.
Had offsides on McKendree there, and that right there is the reason for excitement here at Lindenwood College. Dan Kratzer has brought the type of offense where you're going to put 4 or 5 guys out split wide that can run 4-4, 4-5 40s. Get them the ball and see if we can outrun people.
First and goal from the 9 for Lindenwood. Definitely just what they needed to get back in this game after the turnover cost them 7 points. 6:15 remain. Boy, that was a quick strike for Lindenwood. Brown with a split T formation, and we got a whistle and another flag on the play. This can be expected in your first game of the year.
Yeah, it can. Coach Pelker and Coach Kratzer understand that. These are just young kids. They're out playing football, and this is their first game. They've been hitting each other for weeks now, and this is their first time with full contact with 2,500 people, band, the cheerleaders, under the lights. This is big time, people, and things are a little different from being on that practice field.
It's a legal procedure on the Lindenwood Lions. First and goal from the 14 now. Clock runs at 6 minutes. Another split T formation. Sends a man in motion. Brown under center. Gives it to the first man through, and nothing there again. Looked like on the carry, I believe. Was that Dana Day? On the carry again, Blake?
Yes, it was. Dana Day up the middle. And somebody that's somebody to note, the fullback for this team, Cecil Severado. This guy is a fullback that can flat out play some football. He led the team in rushing last year. Carried the ball 116 times, averaged about 4.5 yards a carry.
2nd and 14 from the 14-yard line. There's a pitch going wide to Dana Day, trying to cut the corner. He does at the 10, and inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line before he's tripped up there.
And that's what we look for from Dana Day. You get the ball to this guy outside, and if he breaks one tackle, kiss him goodbye, because this is a guy you're not going to catch from behind. I don't care what kind of angle you have. There's no one on this field that's going to catch Dana Day if he gets in the open field.
Rory O'Connell, the cornerback, just tripped him up. Otherwise, Day would have scored it through there all the way to the end zone. 3rd and 7 now. 3rd and goal from the 7. Shotgun for Brown. He takes a snap, gets a nice snap. Sets, looks, throws. It's caught and tackled inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. Darian Benton, with the catch. And it'll be 4th and goal from about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Benton, the 5'11 sophomore, is from Bolingbrook, Illinois, which is kind of ironic. The same hometown of Dana Day. Good buddies came over here to play for Coach Kratzer. And now Lindenwood with 4:18 calls a timeout before their decision on 4th and goal from the 3.
Definitely, Lindenwood's got to get some points on the board on this drive. After that big play by Patton, now they had a 1st and goal. The penalty really hurt them. Now they're at 4th and goal from the 3.
This is a big play here. Coach Belker knows for his McKendree team, if they can come up with a stop and hold this team to a field goal, he's got a lot to look for. You're going to be ahead 7-3 nearing the end of the first quarter in your first ball game, and you can sit and say, hey, look, fellas, we've got a quarter out of the way. All the jitters are gone, and we're beating a team that's been playing football. We're playing good, solid football. Don't make mistakes, and we can win this ball game.
4:18 remains in the first quarter. This is the second drive for the Lions. Our first one resulted in an interception by Max Brown. And McKendree Lions took that ball all the way down for the score.
In other Lindenwood notes today, it's been an exciting day. And actually, Jim, after this play, I'll let you know how the soccer teams did today here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium, as it looks like Lindenwood will go for it.
They're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 3. They set up with an I formation. Dana Day as the I back. The crowd starts to get into it here. This is a big play early in this game. Brown fakes. He's going to roll out to the side. He's looking. He's going to run for it. Is he going to get in there? He dives. Touchdown! Lindenwood Lions.
And as I said on the first drive, the reason Max Brown shouldn't be the everyday quarterback, that's the reason he should be. The kid flat out is an athlete. He got around that corner on the naked bootleg. He had the option. He had one man to beat. He had the tight end in the corner he could have thrown it to, but he went for it himself, had 3-4 guys to beat. He dove for it and tied this ball game up.
7-6 to score. And Bill Levy will come in and try to get the extra point. Boy, that was a big play for the Lions. They get themselves right back in this game and puts McKendree back on their heels a little bit. As we await the extra point, there's the snap, the ball down, the kick up, and good. So with 4:11 to go here in the first quarter, the Lindenwood Lions have fought back after an early turnover and have tied the game at 7 apiece.
And Uncle Mo has switched. The momentum has switched here to the hometown team. Lindenwood College, big Mario Patton, the key play there. 70-yard pass play, got him down into the red zone, and Max Brown took care of the rest of that. As I was saying earlier, Jim, this has been a big day here at Lindenwood College. Both soccer teams, the men's and women's, open today. Both are ranked nationally, and both threw shutouts today. The women won their game 3-0, and the men won their game 4-0. A win here by the Lindenwood College football team would be a great beginning to Lindenwood College athletics.
Yes, a triple-header victory would be really nice today if the Lions can finish this off. 4:11, it's still early. We're tied at 7 in the first quarter. Bill Levy will tee it off again as McKendree will drop deep.
And as I get the stats from Coach Shane Boyer, the sports information director, 67 yards in 5 plays and only 3 minutes of time elapsed.
Donald Brooks goes back deep along with the cornerback Rory O'Connell. And they get a little onside kick action, and it looks like Lindenwood may have the ball at the 50-yard line. There's a big scramble. Lindenwood's got the ball.
And is that a gutsy call? Folks, if you could see this game, if you come out to Harlan C. Hunter Stadium, every kickoff, Lindenwood lines up with all 10 guys right behind the kicker. Then they fan out and then kick as a regular kickoff. That time they kept everybody inside, kicked it up strong, had everybody run down the middle, and the Lions come up with the ball, and now they have a chance to get the ball back to Mario Patton, back to Dana Day, guys that can put it in the end zone.
Boy, that was a big, gutsy call there by Coach Kratzer. He gets himself some big momentum now as they've return the game to a tie game, and then all of a sudden, when they recover that, boy, the momentum just, it's a landslide.
That's something you can expect from Coach Dan Kratzer. He is exciting. He calls all kinds of gutsy plays, but it seems that he knows when to call them. Jim, he doesn't make mistakes a lot. Last year the team was 4-7, and you may say, well, yeah, they're 4-7. You know, they weren't very competitive. This team played the toughest schedule in the NAI. They were playing top teams week in and week out, and they were competitive. This is a fairly new program with Coach Kratzer. He's turning things around. He's just now getting the players he wants, just now recruiting the people he wants, and once they get to execute his offense and his desire and his intensity, watch out, because Lindenwood football is back.
You're right. As you talk to some of the players around here and some of the people that are close to the program, they're really up on this program. They really see a lot of commitment, which, you know, seems they've said has not been there before in the past from some of the players. There's a big commitment here towards winning, and you can see it starting to take focus here in only Kratzer's second season. They got the ball on the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Could we see another Statue of Liberty play back-to-back?
You may do it. Get the ball to these quick guys, and it could be points in a hurry.
3 back receivers split out high. Instead, they give the ball out. Running with the ball is number 32. That's the across the inside the 40. Excuse me. That is Cecil Severado. Severado inside McKendree territory. A first down. And they'll take it down to about the 37-yard line. Severado had a big hole over on that side.
Yeah, Severado's probably the best blocking back they have, along with one of the best rushers. He usually plays fullback at 5'10", 200 pounds. That time he got outside, and moving the ball again are the Lindenwood Lions.
1st and 10 from the McKendree 36. Max Brown with a split backfield now. Calls out the signals. Step and a quick toss, and it's caught, and running with the ball. And going in for a touchdown, maybe inside 5. Touchdown, Lindenwood!
That right there, Jim, is Dan Kratzer's offense. All that was a 3-yard curl to number 8. A senior. This guy's been around. This guy flat out gets out and plays football. Not the fastest guy. He's a lot like a Steve Largent. Just gets the job done. A 3-yard curl there made one guy miss, and it's points on the board.
I tell you what, Brown was lucky to get that ball through. It looked like it may have been tipped, and Henry held on to it and just scooted down the sidelines. 13-7. Lions with the lead, and they're going for 2. A fake, another naked bootleg, running with the ball. And into the end zone. Did he get in? A touchdown, or the extra 2 points, I believe.
And that right there was backup quarterback Kevin Dyer in for the 2-point conversion. He's more of a drop-back passer than is Brown. And that time they ran the bootleg, but there looks like there's a penalty. Illegal use of the hands on Lindenwood. That'll move the ball back. No 2-point conversion. And on comes Bill Leiby for the extra point.
That even threw me for a loop that they threw in Dyer in there.
And a special thanks again to Shane Boyer and my baseball coach, sports information director. That drive, 50 yards in only 2 plays, only 30 seconds off the clock, as Lindenwood has taken a lead here.
Definitely Lindenwood showing a big play offense capability. Henry and Patton have played big parts here on pass plays, as now they'll kick the ball from about the 20-yard line for the extra point. And so we wait the snap back, the ball is down, the kick is good.
Something to note here, Jim, is the difference between 1 year makes. Last year, Max Brown came out. He showed all kinds of potential backing up Corey Neslich at the quarterback position. He'd come in, he'd make a couple of these big plays. He'd throw a couple interceptions, and, you kind of wonder, is this guy a quarterback? This year he comes out, he makes an interception, a dumb play. He comes over, coach gets in his face. He says, yes, sir, I'm going to be right at it. 5 minutes later, he's got 14 points on the board just because he's relaxed. He's a year more experienced, and he's stepped up and risen to the challenge. Definitely showing lots of leadership, even on that naked bootleg where he dove in for the score, leading his team into the end zone, getting some points on the board. 14-7, Lindenwood with the lead, 3:39 here in the first quarter, and a big momentum switcher. And I tell you, Jim, something to note here. As McKendree is lined up now, they are prepared for the onside kick, and which now helps Lindenwood's special teams, as now they're not prepared for the deep kick, and they're not going to have the same blocking schemes. They're putting 7 men up there close to the line, right up at the 45-yard line. Levy, as he fakes the onside this time, and now McKendree will drop off.
Levy sets up. The fans are really getting into it here today. Here's the kick. And it's going to go deep to O'Connell. O'Connell at about his 1 yard line to the 5, 10, 15, and it hit and dropped at the 16-yard line.
That's big Jeremy Christensen, number 46, the sophomore out of Illinois. He's 6 foot, 240 pounds, and he can flat out fly. Got down the field to make the big special teams play, and Lindenwood looks to have settled down here, got the first 10-minute jitters out of the way, and now they look to take over this ball game if they can get a big stop here on this drive.
Jason Carnes will be the quarterback again. He brings his club 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line, and that's twice on kickoffs that Lindenwood has had great coverage, pinning McKendree back in their own zone deep. Here's a handoff of Brooks running wide, and nothing there. He's knocked down at about the 13-yard line.
And that's something to note about Coach Naylor's defense. You may get him for the first 5, 6, maybe even the first quarter, beat him on a few plays, but he knows how to make adjustments. That time you saw they ran the option, the same play they've been running, and there were 6, 7 Lions there for the gang tackle.
No place for Donald Brooks to go on that play. They lost a couple of yards, make it 2nd and 12 now from the 14-yard line. Carnes sets up, and they're going to send out their tight end wide to the near side. Watch for the play-action pass again. We've seen it a couple times, and they seem to go to Gross a lot here. As they do, a play-action pass looking for Gross, waiting for him to get into the open field, and a throw incomplete off his hands. And you could see Carnes was really waiting for Gross to get open.
And that really was his only option. They put Gross out wide, and they just took a 3-step drop, had one receiver on one defender, and were hoping that he could beat him. And that time just wasn't a very good pass.
So far, that's been the only intended receiver on the day for Carnes has been Brent Gross, and they're going to do it again as Gross is going to come out wide to this near side.
Yeah, look for the option this way to Brooks, running the same formation.
And there's the snap, and the ball given to the first man through and stacked up for a gain of a couple. That was Brooks again.
And this time it's going to force a 4th and long here, and Lindenwood is held. They're going to force the punt. And big number 3, Gator Adams, along with number 81, Mark Henry, go back deep for the Lindenwood Lions.
Boy, that was a big stuff by the Lions. You can see a lot of high-fiving going on in the sidelines from the Lions side as they're really happy they put a stop down that wishbone offense of McKendree. And they'll have to drop back for the punt. Brent Baker will take the snap. There's a snap, the kick, and almost blocked, and we got a flag on the play. It's a short kick. They're going to let it drop. Henry, it touches a McKendree player on about the 43-yard line, and they down it at about the 37-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. And kind of a soft kick there. It was short, and it took a McKendree bounce, and we got a flag.
Yeah, that flag initial indications were a personal foul on Lindenwood. I'm not sure what it was yet here. We'll discussing it with Mr. Baker, the team captain for McKendree, deciding what they're going to do, and then the referee will be... Yes, we have a personal foul on Lindenwood. 1st down, McKendree, and that is not something Coach Kratzer likes to see.
Definitely a bad break for Lindenwood. Now that gives McKendree new life as Lindenwood just really took it to him on the defensive side of the ball there. They only gained about a yard on that last series. They're going to get a fresh set of downs with 1:55 remaining here in the first quarter. And tough break for Lindenwood. Let's see where they mark the ball. They're going to move it all the way up to the 30-yard line, and that even moves them out of their hole they were just in.
Yeah, special teams coach Mike Gardner, his first year here at Lindenwood, is not a happy camper. He's got the special teams circled up on the bench here, and he is letting them have it. That is just one of the fundamental things that keeps you from winning and losing a ball game right there.
Special teams play a big part. I guess we'll go 2 out of 3 for special teams so far for the Lions. Good on the kickoffs and bad on that last punt. Carnes brings his club to the line. 1:55 remaining, and it's only the first quarter. 14-7, the Lions lead the Bearcats in McKendree. First back through is Mohouse. Mohouse gets a couple up to about the 33, 34-yard line.
Yeah, and that tackle was made by the 6'5" junior out of Smithville, Missouri, Brad Lincoln. Big number 99. He just took in there, took on the runner, and brought him down. That play there, the penalty on Lindenwood, is something Coach Kratzer, when I talked to him before the game, he said the two biggest things he wants from this game are his special teams to play well, and he wants to be consistent. Offensively, they've been okay. Defensively, okay. Special teams, not very consistent.
2nd and 7 from the 33-yard line now for McKendree. They give to Brooks running inside across the 35, squirts out to about the 37-yard line, and he made a nice job getting through what looked like to be not much there.
Yeah, there was Mike Choate again, number 75, the anchor of the defensive line, making the play. And here comes Choate hustling off the field. He looks to be a little shaken up.
That brings up a 3rd down call. 3rd down, and we'll call it 4. Not quite 4, we'll call it 3.5. This is definitely what McKendree wants, is 3rd and short situations. They call it 3rd and 3 on the board. That's what we'll go with. Carnes brings his club to the line. Looks like the Lions want to go, and they call a timeout now by McKendree as the Lions were approaching a blitz. And now Carnes wants a timeout with 40.8 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
It looks like McKendree was trying to catch Lindenwood off guard. They've been going with the quick count, get up to the line, get the ball to our runners, and let them do something with it. That time he came with a couple of hard counts. Lindenwood stood pat. Carnes forced to call a timeout. A big 3rd and short here. If Lindenwood can hold here, forced to punt again, get the ball back to start the second quarter.
Definitely got to stop them here after that bad personal foul call on the punt. Gave McKendree new life. It's time to jump on them right away and not give them that life that they just got back. 3rd and 3 again from the 38-yard line. Looks like that ball's moved up a little bit since that last play.
It did. The center might have moved the ball about half a yard, maybe even a yard. If you can hear this crowd, this is probably the biggest crowd here at Lindenwood College over the last couple of years. The entire home side is completely full. It is completely full with students, something that's not always happened here at Lindenwood College.
Definitely good to see for the new program taking off here for Kratzer and the Lions. And a give to Brooks on a 3rd down call, and he gets it to the 40, across the 40 maybe. It's going to depend on where they spot the ball if they get the 1st down. And they don't give him much of a good spot. Nope.
Not a very good spot at all. He needed to get about half a football length past the 40, and they gave it to him about half a football length on the other side of the 40. So it's going to bring up 4th and about
6 inches, huh?
6 inches, I'd say. And this is a big play as McKendree's going to go for it here in their own end of the field.
Boy, this is real gutsy by Coach Pelker here in the early going. He's definitely trying to get the momentum back. There's only 13 seconds left. They may just hold on to, nope, they're going to snap it. Give it to Brooks. 1st down and more. Across the 40, almost to the 45. We'll call him down at the 44. And that was a gutsy call by Coach Pelker in his own end.
Yeah, Brooks is an explosive runner. They gave him the ball. He hit the hole very, very hard. And there was really a good surge by the young offensive line.
Donald Brooks running hard. Gets to about, we'll call it the 43-yard lines where they spot it. It'll be 1st and 10 now for McKendree. And that was a big gutsy play as time expires here in the first quarter. The score, the Lions 14 and the McKendree Bearcats 7, and the crowd really hears it. Lets the Lions hear it.
Thank you, Arthur, for picking that up. We'll get you with the lead in next time. It's nice and warm in here. We're sweating our tits off. I was like pointing to the radio station.
Back out here after the first quarter, the Lions of Lindenwood with a 14-7 lead over the McKendree Bearcats, and the Lions really couldn't come over that stop there on the 4th down.
No, they couldn't. That was a very gutsy call by Coach Pelker there in his own end as they produced the 1st down. A couple of notes I was just handed from the McKendree College Sports Information Director about this new football program. Something that's kind of neat is 63 of the McKendree players were members of their respective academic honor rolls at one time during high school. That's something to be proud of this day and age when you have a lot of people that are strictly football players, strictly baseball, basketball players. McKendree College is getting it done on the football field and in the classroom.
As they will take over there with a 1st and 10, the Bearcats from their own 47-yard line. Now they're going to mark them at the 48. As we'll get started here in the second half. And let's see what the Lions defense can do about stopping this Bearcat offense. They've been doing exactly what they wanted to do as far as the Bearcats have come in, running the ball, just methodically, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards here. Occasionally a pop to Brent Gross, down the middle or over to the sideline. He's been the only intended receiver. Jason Carnes brings his club up to the line, 1st and 10. Fakes to Brooks, sets up, wants to throw, throws down the sideline and incomplete. Overthrew his intended receiver there.
And Carnes looks a little bit slow to get up as big number 98, Leon Granger, the senior, out of Jacksonville, Florida, came from the outside on the blitz there and just buried Carnes. Slow to get up there, and next time he drops back to pass, I believe he's going to be looking around for Mr. Birch Choate. And now Leon Granger showing what he can do on this defense.
2nd down and 10. McKendree from their own 44-yard line. Carnes, again with 2 backs in the backfield. Gives it up to the middle, first back through, and getting a nice hole through the middle. And that was the fullback, I believe. That was Matt Freeburn.
And here are some first quarter statistics. Total yards dominated by Lindenwood, 138 total yards, 19 on the ground, 119 through the air, while the visiting team, the McKendree Bearcats, put up 64 yards on the ground, 73 total yards.
They mark it was only a gain of 2. 3rd down and 8. 2nd quarter, Lindenwood 14, the Bearcats from McKendree 7. Carnes at the line. Gives it to Mohouse. Breaking tackles across the 50, inside Lindenwood territory down to the 46-yard line. And that was Joel Mohouse, the halfback. He hasn't gotten much action today, but when he's gotten the ball, he's been effective.
Yeah, I haven't decided if it's Coach Pelker's confidence in his offensive line to push and run the ball on 3rd and long, or unconfident that his quarterback can't throw the ball. I'm starting to believe it's that his offensive line can make a push and they can run the ball, as they're on 3rd and 8, a 7-yard gain, which brings up another big 4th down.
I would have to agree with you. He's got definitely confidence in an offensive line, especially going on forward and 3rd and short in his own end. They give it to Mohouse again, and Mohouse across inside the 45. We'll call him down at the 42, and that's another 1st down for McKendree.
Yeah, this ballgame really is going the way Coach Kratzer wants it. Though they had a turnover, though they had a bad penalty, McKendree is moving the ball up and down the field, but they're not putting it in the end zone. And when Lindenwood does get the ball, they're making something happen. And that's the Lindenwood style of football. They may give up 7, 14, 21 points in a game, but they're looking to score in the 30s and 40s.
Carnes brings his club to the line, 1st and 10. They go with Brooks trying to go out wide. He gets across inside the 40, and he'll be down at about the 38-yard line. And Brooks has definitely been a workhorse so far today for McKendree.
Yeah, number 99, Bradley Lincoln on the tackle there. The kid out of Smithville, Missouri, and he's been all over the place playing a nice game for the Lindenwood Lions.
Brings up 2nd and 5. Brooks got 5 on the play. And the McKendree offensive line is definitely asserting themselves here in this 2nd quarter and on this drive. Carnes gets up under center, takes the snap, fakes, sets up, looks, he throws over the middle looking for his tight end, and caught and dropped. Oh! He had it in his hands. That was number 85, Jason Stanton. He was open, and he just couldn't hold on to the ball.
And that time was he open. Number 28, Jeff Foster on the coverage for Lindenwood. He was beat deep. That's all there is to it. He was beat. A pass right on the fingertips for the McKendree Bearcats as the big tight end couldn't hold on. And that will bring up a big 3rd down situation here in the middle of the 2nd quarter.
Jason Stanton was wide open, and they really fooled the Lindenwood defense with the play-action pass. Brings up a 3rd and 5. Be an interesting call here to see what McKendree goes with. They want to run the ball, and trying to hold on to the ball is Carnes, but he's knocked down. Nothing there. He loses a yard. Great play. Was that Birch again?
And you know it, Mr. Lindenwood defense, Craig Birch there. When you need a big play, who does defensive coordinator Coach Naylor go to? Mr. Birch came right around that end. They ran the option to him. And the quarterback had no choice but to take the hit.
Trying to run outside. Carnes was looking for the pitch, but before he could even make the pitch, Birch was in his face. Brings up a 4th down and 6. McKendree's going to punt.
Back deep for Lindenwood, number 81, Mark Henry, who has already scored 1 touchdown today. Back deep to receive the punt.
Baker takes the snap, boots it from the 50-yard line. It's a high wobbler. Henry calls for the fair catch at the 15. and that's where Lindenwood will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. And let's see if that Lindenwood quick strike offense will start back up again.
As Max Brown takes it, this is really the first time Lindenwood has had the ball on a drive without a turnover, without, taking it deep in their own territory. They've had fairly good field position both times they've had the ball. We'll see if they can put some sort of drive together, or if it's going to be back to the quick strike offense.
They mark the ball down at the 16, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. 3 receiver set. Brown pitches outside to Day. Day across the 20 and outside the 20, down to about the 22-yard line. Nice run by Dana Day getting outside.
Day is very quick. He's not the kind of guy that's going to catch the ball, run up the middle, and run over a linebacker. He's just not that kind of running back. He's the kind of guy that's going to put 2, 3, maybe even 4 moves on you, and then he's going to outrun you. He's flat out going to get around the corner, and when he does, put the points up for Lindenwood.
Brown will bring his team up with a 2nd down and 4. We'll give Day a gain of 6. And they're going to go with a 4 receiver set for the Lions. Back from the shotgun. Brown sets up, looks, throws. Henry caught the ball at the 30, running to the sidelines, breaks a tackle across the 30 and down at about the 32. Nice job by Henry and Brown.
And as I said in the first quarter, Lindenwood's defense got to prepare for a wishbone offense, which is fairly vanilla. It's you line up, you hit each other, and you make the tackle. As far as McKendree, they've had to prepare for 3, 4, even 5 receiver sets, with people getting spread out wide, running hook patterns, going deep, which is very tough to cover. And there you saw Henry just run right underneath the zone, wide open.
They're going to go with the 4 receiver set again. Make that 3 receiver set. Now Brown in the shotgun, sets back to pass, 1st and 10 from his own 29. Going deep and overthrowing his intended receiver, Darian Benton. And he threw into triple coverage there.
Yeah, Benton was triple covered. If Brown would have taken the time to look to the other side, he had speed burner Mario Patton open down the right sideline. And hopefully the coaches up in these press boxes will see that, get it down to Coach Kratzer, and look for that play to come back in the second half.
Yes, we've definitely seen Mario's act today, and it was quite good on that nice 70-yard pass play early in the first quarter to set up the first Lindenwood score. 2nd and 10. 10:43 remains in the second quarter. From the 31-yard line, Brown brings his club to the line with a split backfield. Wide receiver split, 1 to each side. Sets up, they fake the blitz. Gives a nice run there. Severado, he cuts across the 30 down to about the 35-yard line.
That was a big-time call there by Coach Kratzer. Spread the field, as they always do. Saw the blitz coming, gave it to Severado. And a draw play is the blitz killer in college football. When you bring a lot of guys, you run the quick-hitting draw play, and you have all the guys rushing upfield. Severado beat right around him, which brings up a 3rd and about 7.
3rd and 7, we'll call it. Big play by Brown here in the Lions, trying to sustain this drive. 10:36, second quarter. Brown in the shotgun, and boy, he's got all his receivers open on this side of the near side of the field. What are they going to do? It looks like a clear-out pattern. And Brown sets and throws, and there's Henry at the 50, 1st down. And Henry inside McKendree territory down at about the 49, and Mark Henry was wide open as they really cleared it out for him.
And Mark Henry is having a career day, the senior. Number 81, the 5'11", 180-pounder from Simi Valley, California, is having a career day. He's just, like I said earlier, a lot like Steve Largent. He's not quick. He's got very good hands. He just finds the seams, the holes, and the zones, stands there, makes the catch, has the 1st down.
This is the way Lindenwood wants to move the ball. 1st down, 1st down, 1st down. Let's see what they can do here. Max Brown brings his club to the line from the 49. Inside McKendree territory, a give to Severado. Severado is not going to get much. He fights his way maybe back to the 50-yard line. Not much running room there at all.
Yeah, there really wasn't that time. They lined up, tried to play a little smash-mouth football, gave it to Severado. McKendree just too strong up front on the defensive front. Big number 41 made the stop, the inside linebacker.
That sets up a 2nd down and 11 from the 50-yard line for the Lindenwood Lions with a 14-7 lead in the second quarter. Max Brown looks like he wants to set up in the shotgun again. 2 receiver set. Both backs to the near side of the field. Oh, a bad snap goes over Brown's head. He picks it up at about his 30. He's in big trouble and just throws it away. And boy, he was lucky just to get the pass off.
And that right there is something that shows me Max Brown has grown up. Earlier in this ball game, he dropped back, had a little pressure, threw the ball right down the middle, turned it over, which led to McKendree's points. That time, a bad snap in a hurry, had the whole defensive line after him, picked the ball up and threw it clear over to the Lindenwood bench. Obviously, Coach Dan Kratzer got on Brown after that first turnover.
A bad snap there by Matt Terry. It went way over Brown's head. He was lucky the ball bounced off that AstroTurf to him and bounced right up. That brings up a 3rd down and 11. Brown with three receivers with the slot to the near side. Takes a snap, sets back, looks, he's rolling to the far side. He's going to throw over the middle, and it's caught. And down in about the 42-yard line is the tight end, Carlton Rivers.
And that is big time. That is Mr. Rivers, and that guy can flat out play football. Rivers, the big tight end, 6'3", 240 pounds from East St. Louis, Missouri, played on a big-time program in high school, has come here and brought another level of football to Lindenwood College.
That's going to put the Lions about a yard short, and they're going to go to the punting game. But beware of the fake. Coach Kratzer has been gambling thus far. Will he do it here? 4th and short. We'll call it 4th and 1. Leby, up, there is the fake. Running with the football and up the middle and not getting the first down are the Lions. It was a quick snap.
And I don't understand that call there, Jim. You hate to stand up here and second-guess the coach, but the halfback on that play was number 15, Stephen Bang, a backup punter. Why in that situation in 4th and short do you not put a runner back there? Maybe Bang is the guy that usually runs that, and they didn't want to tip anybody off. But they hiked it to a backup punter. Once he got hit, there was no second effort involved.
Well, the gang from McKendree definitely applauds that one. And they may gain some momentum back. And as I said, beware of that fake. A gutsy call by Kratz, but as you said, if you don't make it, it looks real bad in this position.
Yeah, and really in that situation, you don't have a lot to lose. The ball's in McKendree's own territory at the 40-yard line. They still got a long way to go. Your defense has been playing solid. They've been playing the bend, don't break defense. And now you just say, hey, we've got confidence in Mike Choate and Craig Birch and Jake House that we're going to stop these guys and get the ball back.
Carnes brings his club to the line with a 1st down and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Gives it to Brooks, trying to get it outside, and maybe gets a gain of 2 on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 8.
While we have a minute, Jim, I'd like to say for all those tuned in to 89.1 KCLC, if you're in this neighborhood, come out to Harlan C. Hunter Stadium right now. You've got to have an exciting second half. There's probably 25 to 2,800 people out here right now. You've got the band, you've got the Lion Line, you've got the Spirit Squad, you've got the cheerleaders, and you've got an exciting football game. It is an exciting day in Lindenwood College sports, so if you're in the neighborhood or in your car, stop on by and catch the second half.
Definitely big-time NAIA college football here this evening. A quick drop and a toss over the middle, and there's Gross, wide open, caught at the 30 and down at the 30-yard line. And McKendree pulls off that nice little pass to Gross again on the outside.
Yeah, and Gross is doing something that not a lot of people have been able to do against this secondary in years past, and that's get open. That time he beat number 25, Scott Cunningham, another senior in the secondary, just flat out beat him down the field. Cunningham was probably cheating up, trying to stop the option, trying to control the run. Gross ran right by him, and Coach Naylor is going to have Cunningham trot off the field.
1st down and 10 from the Lindenwood 30-yard line. McKendree with the ball and driving. They go with the fullback, Morehouse. Morehouse, maybe a yard. Not much there at all. Joel Morehouse.
Yeah, Morehouse only 5'5", 165. He was just grabbed by the back of his shirt by Craig Birch, the man himself, and just brought to the ground. Morehouse is someone that they have him playing fullback, but he's more of a scat back, a Dave Meggett type from the NFL. So when they get the ball to, he can make all kinds of little exciting moves. Not a real power runner.
Ball spotted just inside the 30, 2nd and about 9. Carnes brings his club to the line, takes a snap, gives it to the fullback running up the middle, and not much there either. Jared Carnes, his brother, with the carry. Maybe 2.
Number 92, Todd Nolte, the defensive lineman, the 6'5", 240-pounder, made the stop there. And this defensive line is doing a nice job. It's these situations here that are hurting them. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, when McKendree is going to continue to run the same plays and they're getting first downs. Need a big stop here as McKendree's moving the ball with 6 minutes to go in the half.
3rd down and 7. Carnes brings his club up to the line. I don't see Gross anywhere. Watch out for him. Nope. They're going to go with the option play. Carnes breaks a tackle but doesn't get much. It was a quick hole, but it closed quickly, and he's tackled at about the 25.
Yeah, that looked to be a little bit of a busted play as they went for the option out wide. And Carnes just kept it and tried to turn the corner. And now Carnes has called a timeout with exactly 6 minutes to go in the half as they face a big 4th down situation.
I wonder what Coach Pelker's going to call here. He's been pretty gutsy with his club so far. He showed a lot of confidence in his offensive line, going for it on 4th down, running the ball inside his own territory. And we'll be curious to see what Coach Pelker pulls out of his hat here on 4th and 5 from the 25-yard line of the Lions, as the Lions have the lead 14-7.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the Bearcats have developed much of a kicking game yet. Here at the 25, this would be a 42-yard field goal, and it really doesn't look like he's developed that, as it looks like they're setting up some sort of play in the huddle, and they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
6 minutes exactly on the clock here in the second quarter. As we'll see what McKendree will do on this 4th down call. Coach Pelker on the far sideline with a big fouling from McKendree coming over to Lindenwood tonight to watch their Bearcats take on the Lions. They've been very boisterous so far in this first half. We'll bring it out as Carnes will bring his club back out with a 4th down and 5 from the Lindenwood 25-yard line. What will Coach Pelker call here? It looks like Brett Gross is back in the lineup here. Maybe look for him on that play-action pass again. This time they split out and in to the top side. It's Jeff Kerr. As there's a snap, and it looks like they want to run a reverse. Now they fake it and taken down, and nothing there for Carnes, the quarterback, and he's taken down at the 40-yard line. Jason Carnes faked the end around, and boy, he was just ripped by the defense.
On that note, Jim, we're going to send it back to Arthur for a 60-second break as we fix some technical problems here at the Harlan C. Hunter Stadium. A 60-second break from KCLC.
Number 55, Dan Connor. First down line.
Ready? Send it back to us, Arthur. You're all right when this is over. Send it back to us.
Lindenwood take.
Official timeout on the field for measurement.
Send it back to us, Arthur. Send it back to us, Art. Come on, Art. Come on, Arthur.
Second quarter action, 5:39 remains. We missed one play while we were away as the Lions have taken over. And they had a nice run there by Dana Day, and he was just short of the first down at about the 44-yard line for the Lions as they took over as they stopped McKendree on that 4th and short.
Yeah, special thanks to Arthur back in the studios of KCLC doing the engineering, producing this ball game here. Live from KCLC 89-1 at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium as McKendree went for it on 4th down, and you don't run a trick play on Mike Choate. He made the stop along with Craig Birch.
2nd and short for the Lions from their own 44-yard line. Max Brown under center. Calls out the signal, steps back to pass. He's in big trouble and throws, and Day is wide open, and he can't hang on. And Max Brown was under lots of pressure.
I tell you there, Jim, one more second, one more inch on that football, and this ball game is a blowout. It's 21-7 right there because there was nothing but green AstroTurf for Dana Day, and when you see that, you're not going to get him.
Day was wide open. The pass was just a little underthrown as Max Brown was under big-time pressure from both sides, and he was lucky just to get rid of it. 3rd and short now for the Lions. Big play to continue this drive with 5:28 until half. Brown under center. Steps back to pass. He's in trouble. A quick slant and caught by Henry at the 50. He's got the first down. Dukes a man inside the 45, and then he's knocked down and knocked back. But a nice play by Henry.
Mark Henry, there he is again. He is turning in to Max Brown's favorite receiver, and that's not a bad idea here in the first ball game. Let's get the confidence of my quarterback, so throughout this season in big clutch situations like that one on 3rd and short, I know I'm getting the ball.
Max Brown, a nice pass. He found Henry again, wide open. He's been getting some pretty good time back there, except for that last play before that, prior to that, where he was blitzed. But other than that, Max Brown has done a fine job at the quarterback position. 1st and 10 from the 45 of McKendree for the Lions. Brown steps back to pass. They're blitzing, and a throw is caught by and running with the football and down at the 40-yard line. Is Terrence Adams, Gator at it again.
Yep, there it is right there. That's a middle screen Lindenwood likes to run. Put 3 receivers out wide to the right, send 2 of them down deep and bring the outside one back across the middle. Have a couple of those big offensive linemen blocking for him. The middle screen worked as Gator Adams did a little jitterbug in there, moved down and brings up a 2nd and short.
He could have been able to scoot through that middle and out to the sidelines. He would have been gone because McKendree was coming on the blitz on that play. 2nd and 4 from the 39, the Lions. Back to pass again. This throw is caught out to the far side by Patton, or excuse me, that's not Patton. Yeah, it is Patton. Patton down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Jim, I don't understand McKendree's defensive scheme here. With 4 minutes to go in the half, you're trailing. Lindenwood's not running nothing but 3-step drops and get rid of the ball, yet they keep blitzing all of their linebackers, which puts one-on-one with receiver defensive back, and every time Lindenwood has gotten open.
It's definitely looking like McKendree's desperate to get some pressure on Brown to get in his face. Thus far, it's not working. 1st and 10 for the Lions from the 31-yard line, and now Brown checks off, calls another play, and we got a lot of movement now, and we're going to have a flag. A lot of confusion on that play as Brown checked off, and we'll see what the officials say on who moved. Looked like Henry on the near side for Lindenwood move, but did McKendree move first?
Yeah, it looks there that Brown got up to center, realized here came McKendree on yet another blitz, tried to check off to another play, audible, but the offensive line didn't pick up on it as we had false start. Lindenwood moves the ball back, now 1st and 15.
4:01 remains till half. 14-7. Lindenwood would do themselves a lot of good if they could punch some points up on the board on this drive. Brown under center with 2 receivers to the near side. Looks like McKendree's coming again. They do. This time they're going to get him. And down goes Brown at about the 45-yard line, and they darted through on the defense, did McKendree.
Down goes Brown is exactly right as Michael Tardy, the 5'11", 180-pound middle linebacker, timed the cadence exactly right. As soon as Brown gave the hard hut count, in came Tardy for the sack, which puts Lindenwood all the way back to the 43-yard line and brings up a big second down, and 22.
2nd and 22, and I tell you what, Brown had no chance at all to throw that ball. He took 2 steps back, and Tardy was all over him. 3 receivers to the near side. Let's see if they use that clear-out pattern for Henry again. Nope, they're going to pitch it to the near side. Severado breaks into the open field to the 40, to the 45, and then he's knocked down by a host of tacklers. And good job there by Severado.
I think that's a great call there by Dan Kratzer. He spread everybody out to the left side, 3 receivers, and pitched it to his big back, Severado. Got him out wide behind the blockers just to mix things up. He wasn't looking for Severado to break that and go 50 yards for the touchdown. Just wanted to get about 5-6 yards like they did. Actually picked up 7 yards to set up a third and give his quarterback a reasonable shot here at this 3rd and long.
You can definitely see Lindenwood, when they're trying to run the ball, running to the outside, using their speed, trying to get outside the McKendree defense. And for the most part, they've been pretty successful with 2:29 remaining until half. We got a 3rd down and 14. Brown from the shotgun sets up. Looks in trouble, throws, caught by Severado at the 40, breaks the tackle, down to the 35, inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job there by Cecil Severado. And definitely even Brown did a nice job finding him as he was wide open.
And Jim, I believe we have a personal foul on our man Gator Adams there as he comes off the field hitting his chest saying, "That's my fault, Coach, my fault. I hit him late." That's still not going to make Coach Kratzer happy. Still would have brought up a 4th and long. Here with the personal foul, it's going to bring up 4th and real long.
4th in Wentzville.
4th in Wentzville, exactly.
2:11 till halftime, and they're going to push the ball all the way back to the 47-yard line of McKendree. And let's see what Coach Kratzer's going to do. He's looking to send out the punting team? I believe so. Here they come.
And Mike Gardner sends out his special teams who have done some of the best things in this ball game as well as some of the worst. Late penalties here, but yet had some good punts, good fake punts, good onside kicks. We'll see what they can do here.
Lobby waits for the snap. Watch out for the snap. They had some trouble with this at practice. Gets a nice snap. Boots a nice kick. Back is O'Connell, and he'll call for the fair catch at about the 13-yard line. And that's where McKendree will take over.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Naylor's telling his defense right here, hey, this is an offense that we're facing with 1:41 to go in this half that likes to run the football. Let's make tackles. We don't want them to break any tackles and break a long run here. Just do your job, hold them, and let's go into the locker room with a 14-7 lead.
1:41 till half. Rory O'Connell with the fair catch on his own 13 for the McKendree Bearcats. And I would definitely have to say Coach Pelker of McKendree is, if his team can get out of here with a 14-7 deficit at halftime, he's got to be pretty happy. Lindenwood definitely would like a turnover to weigh the momentum on their side. A quick give up the middle and across the 15 to about the 16-yard line for McKendree goes Brooks.
And it looks like McKendree and Coach Pelker are going to be happy with this first half as they just give it to their fullback. Clock nearing 1 minute at 1:15 to play here in the first half. And Lindenwood needs to make the tackles here, hold them, go into the halftime with a lead as they will get the ball to start the second half. And you got to be happy. Both sides of the ball have to be happy, offensively and defensively for Lindenwood, other than the bad interception which led to McKendree's only points.
McKendree definitely trying to run out the clock. 1:04 remains, still a half. Carnes gives up the middle, and a quick hitter up the middle gains about 4 on the play. It was that Jared Carnes, I believe, with the carry. And we got a whistle, and we got a player for McKendree down.
Timeout, Linden.
And we're going to call a timeout by Lindenwood. They wanted to maybe get the ball back here with 53 seconds remaining till half.
Yeah, 3rd and about 2 here. Lindenwood's going to call a timeout, maybe get a stop and force them to punt the ball where you've got such speed on Lindenwood's team, Gator Adams, Dana Day, and such, that maybe if we can force them to punt, maybe we'll go after the punt and block it. Maybe we'll get them to punt, run some sort of reverse on the punt return, do something to put more pressure on this first-year program.
Definitely. With the speed on Lindenwood's side, you can make a lot of things happen in a short period of time. Lindenwood would like to get it back into its special teams, which has done a good job so far this evening. The Lions lead 14-7. McKendree with the ball. .53 seconds remain.
And I apologize, Jim, but it looks like they're going to give McKendree the first down.
Yeah, you're right. They gave him the first down on the play. Carnes brings his club up the line. A quick hitter up the middle. And there's number 21, Jared Carnes. As he got the handoff from his brother, he gained about 4, maybe 5 on the play. They'll mark him down at the 30.
Jared Carnes on the carry.
And the clock runs with 36 seconds remaining.
A tale of two teams here. A passing attack by Lindenwood, a running attack by McKendree. And this game is a good one thus far in the first half.
This more than likely will be the last play of the first half. Carnes under center. Gives it again up the middle to his brother Jared Carnes. And he got a nice hole again. He got enough for the first down, close to the 40. We'll call it down at the 39. And we got a stoppage in play as the clock is stopped with 15.8 seconds. 3rd down and 4. And now they're going to let the clock run out. They restart it. They had to move the chains. They gave him the first down on that play. So definitely time will expire here in the first half. The Lindenwood Lions with a pretty decent showing here on opening night, taking on the McKendree Bearcats, and they'll go out with a 14-7 lead.
As both crowds, big sides on both sides, giving their team standing ovations at the half. Lindenwood 14, McKendree 7. We'll send it back to the studio for a quick promo. We'll be back with a first half wrap after this. You're listening to Lindenwood College football on 89.1 KCLC.
First half for 179 yards with the one interception early, but he turned that around and drove his team down the field. As we're getting ready for kickoff here, as McKendree will kick it off to the Lindenwood Lions for the second half of action here on opening night. 14-7, Lindenwood leads, and it looks like Dana Day is back there. He takes it on his 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50. He's going to go all the way. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Dana Day, no flags. And that'll be a big momentum switch for the Lions early on.
Jim, did I tell you, when this guy gets in the open field, you will not catch him. He went straight up the middle, and there were about 5 guys when he hit the 40, his own 40-yard lines that were within arm distance. When he got to the end zone, there wasn't anybody within 25 yards of him. The kid can flat out fly, and that's why he's back deep to return kicks. Dana Day, the 5'9", 175-pound junior out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, just took that one 85 yards for the score. Lindenwood leads 20-7.
We'll go for the extra point here, but there's an injured player down on the field for McKendree. Not quite sure which number that is down there. But as you mentioned, Dana Day with explosive speed. He had a hole, and he just darted right through there. Nobody touched him, I don't believe, on the entire play.
That guy, he's a real quiet kid. Doesn't make a lot of noise, doesn't talk a lot of trash, doesn't run his mouth all the time. He just goes out and gets the job. And as you saw there, the kid can flat out fly. He is big time. And as Coach Kratzer told me in the pregame interview, he said he's a guy that keeps people in his seats. He's a guy that when he touches the ball, as you saw down there, concession stand, there's probably 400 people down around the concession stand down near one end zone of this field. As soon as he caught the ball, everybody turned around and looked. When he got done, there was nothing but black jerseys around him as the kid can flat out fly.
Matt Fairbairn, a backup fullback, was the injured player on the play for McKendree. He's being helped off. And we're getting ready for the extra point attempt by Scott Levy. They'll wait for the snap here. Boy, that didn't take long. 14:47 on the clock. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and good.
If you think about that, Jim, you got to figure the clock started when it was kicked. In the air, probably 4 or 5 seconds, and he took it 80 yards in about 8 seconds. The guy can flat out run. Lindenwood on top, and as I said, if McKendree comes out here lackadaisical in this half, Max Brown, Dana Day, somebody's going to lead them, and this game could get ugly real quick.
This is definitely the way Coach Krasser wanted to bring his team out here in the second half. As I noted right there at half, you could see everybody's head was up. Everybody was focused on what their point and what they had to do to win this football game. They took it back 85 yards for the score in the opening kickoff of the second half. They have the lead 21-7. Bill Levy will attempt the kickoff here, and dare we say another fake?
No, I don't think so. Those fakes by Kratzer, I mean, I'm not challenging the guy because you never know what he might do. But the fakes there are to get his team going, to wake everybody up. Right there, his team's awake. He wants to kick it back. Let Craig Birch, Mike Choate come on, lead this defense, and let's dominate this ball game from here on out.
I would definitely have to agree with you there. We'll tee it off with 14:47, and they approach the line quickly and do that little fake again with the onside kick. O'Connell and Brooks are back deep for McKendree. Their heads are definitely down a little bit. Let's see if Lindenwood can make another nice play on special teams and pin them back and let the defense go to work. Levy boots it high, hangs up there, and Brooks from the 15, or to 10, 15, 20, 25, and across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. And that's where McKendree will take over. 1st and 10 with 14:42 remaining in the third quarter. 21-7, Lindenwood with the lead.
Yeah, right here in front of us. I see 3, 4, maybe even 5 coaches from other teams scouting both of these teams, maybe meet them somewhere down the schedule. And I guarantee you they're not going to kick deep to Dana Day. big things happen for Lindenwood when he touches the ball. Look for a lot of teams in the future to squib kick it, maybe even kick it off to the side to someone not as exciting as Dana primetime day.
Carnes with his club at the line gives it to Brooks, first man through, breaks tackles, and he may break into the open field and brought down across the 40 at the 45. He broke through that wave, continuing to fight, and he was taken down there at the last man back for Lindenwood. And I tell you what, it looked to be Scott Cunningham on the tackle, but he was the last man to save it.
Yes, he was there, and that's not what you want to see out of your defense. Very lackadaisical there. A lot of arm tackling, trying to drag him down, trying to strip the ball. Just get back to the fundamentals, make the tackles, and everything will happen in your favor.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of McKendree. The Bearcats with the ball. Give it to Brooks again, going over. No, this time he doesn't get anything, maybe lost a yard, and that's what we wanted from the defense on that last play.
Guess who that was?
Cunningham.
Not Cunningham.
He was there, but it looked like Birch again.
Mr. Craig Birch himself. I don't know how you can stop this guy. He's going to take 2, maybe even 3 guys with him. That time they brought the tight end to help alongside the left guard to block him. He moved them both out of his way and was in there to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Bringing up 2nd down and 9 from the 46-yard line of McKendree. They had the ball and will try to run down the clock, maybe get a drive going, but Lindenwood wants to stop him and get that offense back on the field. Carnes sets back to pass. He's in trouble, rolling out, looking for some help, looking for Gross's tight end, and he dropped the ball. It was right in his hands at about the 50-yard line. And I tell you what, Carnes had a lot of time, but Gross just dropped the ball.
Yeah, he did it. I don't think that play was designed that way. He dropped back. Great coverage by Cunningham and Matt Meets down in the secondary. He rolled out toward us on the near side of the field, pointed to his receiver to go out, but there was just solid coverage throughout the field. Had to force it in somewhere for the incompletion, which brings up a big 3rd down for McKendree. If they want to stay in this ball game, they better pull something out of their hat right now.
They need a big play. It's a big play here for Lindenwood. If they can stop them here, they'll get the ball back, and definitely with the momentum on their side now, they could turn this game into a blowout. Carnes drops back, nope, hands it off to the first man through and trying to fight for extra yards. Looked to be Jared Carnes. And
that tackle was made by number 75, Michael Choate, the 6'2", 305-pound nose tackle, and he is a machine. He's short, stocky, and he flat out gets after it every dime on the field.
Definitely can't miss him. Brings up 4th and 11. That was Mohouse on the carry, but he didn't get anything. Bringing up 4th and 11, and McKendree will have to punt it with Henry back there deep. There's the snap, and the kick. Hangs up there, and Henry takes it on his 15 to the 20. Cuts inside, breaks a couple tackles, trying to get outside and tackled there at the 25-yard line. May have got to the 26. We'll see where they spot it, and that's where Lindenwood will take over as Max Brown will take his high-powered offense out to the field. They have the lead 21-7, do the Lions, over the McKendree Bearcats. Be interesting to see how Coach Kratzer does his offensive play calling here on this series.
See, that's the thing, Jim, excuse me. This isn't a team that's going to line it up and run right at you. They're going to continue to spread it wide, hit our wide receivers, hit Carlton Rivers down the middle, and let's put more points on the board.
Comes in there with an I-back set. Dana Day in the backfield. Long count here by Brown. Gives it to Day, running wide, getting upfield, inside, or out about to the 27-yard line. And he had a lot of room there early, and then it closed quickly.
Yeah, you don't have to take my word for it anymore. This guy touches the football. It could be one of those pitch to Dana Day's touchdown Lindenwood in a real hurry. When he gets the ball, everybody on McKendree's sideline takes a sigh when he gets brought to the ground.
You can definitely see when he touches the ball, you got to watch because he's so lightning quick. He can make any kind of move and get into the open field. And once he's in the open field, it's all over. Bringing up a 2nd down and 8. Brown, another long count. Gives it to Day, cutting upfield, breaking a couple tackles across the 40, or almost to the 40, make that. He's across the 35 to about the 39. That'll be a 1st down. And nice job there by the interior line as Day danced and squirted through that middle of the field.
Yeah, Dana Day, he's one of those guys that when you watch him, if anybody's picking this up on our cable network, or if you buy a video here from Lindenwood College, Jim Wilson will be able to sell those to you. When you watch him, he's a guy that if you watch him, he makes your knees hurt. He hits the ground and he's so light on his feet, he can make 2, 3, 4 cuts before the defense is even moved. sometimes he makes too many cuts for his own good. But this guy is exciting to watch. He's one of the most exciting players in Lindenwood College football history.
First down and 10 from the 39-yard line. Brown with his receiver split and a give to the first back through. And a gain of a couple there. Not much on the play. Severado with the carry. And he got a couple, if that. And interesting to see Kratzer's play calling here with the run.
Looks like he's running a little bit, but I still don't believe this is how it's going to be the rest of the game. I think he's setting this young McKendree team up. He says, we're going to run the ball. Let's run a play-action fake and hit Carlton Rivers or Mark Henry Maurice Patton down the field.
Henry out wide, sends Severado in motion. Brown steps back to pass. Here it is. He sets up. He's got a lot of time. Throws it and caught, and a nice tackle there by McKendree. And not much there on the play. It looked like it was going to go further than that.
Yep.
But Terrence Gator Adams with the catch, but just got caught up by his heels.
Yeah, Michael Tardy playing the linebacker spot for McKendree has had a nice game. He's all over the place. He's one of those guys that's always around the football. No matter where it goes, if it's a bomb, he's down there always around the football. And good things happen when that happens there. He sprint out wide for the screen to Adams and made a nice open field tackle.
3rd and long. We'll call it 3rd and 7. 4 receivers set. Brown under center. Need a big play here. Drops on a fake. Oh, he's in trouble. He looks and he just throws it into the ground. And no time at all for Brown. As soon as he turned around, there were people in his face. It looked like a corner blitz.
Yeah, it did. That play looks like to be a busted play, and Coach Kratzer and some of the offensive units seem to be a little confused. It may be a little bit of a missed call there. It looks like Max Brown wanted to set up a bit of a screen, but he had no one to throw to, so he just went ahead and threw it away.
Here comes the punting unit with a 4th and 7 from the Lindenwood 43. Bill Eby will punt it away there with 4th and 7. No fake this time. No, bad snap. He can't handle it, and he's in trouble, and he's going to be downed at about the 35-yard line. Actually, the snap was pretty good. He just seemed to take his eye off it and miss it.
Yeah, it looks like they might have been trying to run something there as he looking upfield, maybe to see what kind of pressure he had. But I tell you, as good as Mike Gardner's special teams has been tonight, they sure have made some big mistakes here, as this will open the door for McKendree. Last time they made it a turnover, McKendree made Lindenwood pay, and here they fumble a snap with a 14-point lead. That's not exactly what you want to do.
McKendree will definitely try to capitalize on this turnover. The first turnover early in the first quarter led to a McKendree touchdown as Max Brown threw an interception. McKendree and Coach Rich Pelker will definitely look to score here on this drive. They take over on the Lindenwood 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Big time step up here for the Lindenwood defense is needed. Under center and a fake, and they're going to go for the pass again, looking for Gross. Oh, incomplete. It wasn't Gross. It was intended instead for Ralph Giannino, excuse me, and Giannino had to go right through his hands.
Yeah, and the All-American linebacker, Craig Birch, in on the pressure there, pressured to force the bad pass. And as long as McKendree's going to take the 7-step drop and try and pass the ball, it's not going to work. Birch, Choate, Jake House, Nolte, somebody on this defensive line for Lindenwood is going to be back there. They better stick with the run, or they better go with some sort of play-action pass if they want to move the ball.
2nd and 10. A quick give to Brooks, trying to run out to the outside across the 35, and still on his feet and may have gotten to the 30. We'll call him down at the 31. A nice extra effort there by Brooks as he was tripped up, but continued to roll to about the 30-yard line. That brings up a 3rd and about 5 for McKendree. 9:38 remains in the 3rd quarter. 21-7, Lindenwood with the lead. They extended the lead on the opening kickoff of the 2nd half with a touchdown return to make it 21-7. They had the momentum, but a turnover here off the botched punt, and McKendree will try and capitalize. 3rd down and 5. Carnes under center. Gives it to the first back through, and crunching his way for a 1st down yards is Carnes, his brother. That's Jared Carnes, and he'll get the 1st down close to the 20-yard line.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and about 5.5. Give it to your fullback up the middle. I mean, that's just an in-your-face situation. Something that Coach Pelker might have been thinking of is, hey, it's 3rd and 5. We're down 14, but halfway gone the 3rd quarter. This may be a 2-down situation. We may be going for it twice anyway, so let's just give it up the middle. Lindenwood's defense needs to stack the line here. Doesn't want McKendree to get in the end zone.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Jason Carnes under center. Gives it to Mohouse. Mohouse maybe a yard or two, and he was stacked up. Not good blocking there by the offensive line, McKendree, that time. Good job by the Lindenwood defense. Bringing up a 2nd down and 8. With 8:42 as the clock continues to run. 14-point lead for the Lindenwood Lions.
Gain of a yard on the carry.
We'll call it 2nd and 8.
2nd down.
Definitely, the Lindenwood defense on that line has got to step up. See if they try and stack the line on him here. Carnes gives it to the first back through again. Jared Carnes, and he got 2, maybe 3 on the play.
Yeah, look for Coach Naylor here down, well, maybe not on this situation, 3rd and long, but somewhere throughout this game he's going to start bringing his safety, his strong safety, his free safety up on the line to try and stop the run, doing some run blitzes and whatnot, which may turn out to hurt him in the play action pass to Gross deep. You know, hurt him earlier when they ran the blitz up the middle. But they have to do something to stop this running game. They're eating up clock, obviously with a 14-point lead. You don't want to take any chances. But here on 3rd and 7, you need a stop.
Big play on this drive. Carnes setting back the pass. He's in trouble. Birch chases him and throws an incomplete, and Birch was there.
And that is one of the biggest plays of this ball game. Number 95, Craig Birch, the 6'4", 240-pound senior, came from the opposite side of the field, chased the quarterback down, did not get a sack, did not force an interception, but he did force an incomplete pass, and there is nothing better from a defensive lineman than hustle and putting pressure on the quarterback, and that is what Craig Birch exemplifies.
No quit on Birch's part at all. Great pursuit, bringing up a 4th down and 7. Big play here. Can the Lindenwood defense stop, and the crowd comes alive. Carnes under center. In trouble, rolling out to the near side, throwing, and it is caught and going into the end zone for a touchdown. McKendree with a play fake call, going in for the touchdown.
And that right there on the coverage for Lindenwood, Scott Cunningham. Scott really hasn't had a big game tonight. The gotten beat deep by Gross, the tight end, and that time gave up the touchdown. Cunningham is going to look at the films of this game, and he's going to improve. This guy's a senior. He's one of the leaders of this defense, and he's a big-time defensive back, but he's just not having the big game right now. Lindenwood's defensive secondary has gotten beat a couple times on very limited pass plays.
Gross has been the man every time out, and he was wide open, just broke a tackle, walked into the end zone untouched, and here comes the extra point. 21-13 pending the extra point with 7:29 remaining in the 3rd quarter. As we wait to snap back, ball down, kick up, and it's blocked. Oh, what a great play by the special teams on defense. And the ball rolls out of bounds. Big play. The momentum may switch here. Wow, what a play by the Lindenwood defense. They blocked the extra point, and big pursuit there by Cunningham, number 25, as he may have been the one to get it.
Yeah, Cunningham, Granger, there was all kinds of pursuit up the middle there by Lindenwood as they got to it, blocked that, and that keeps them at an 8-point lead, which is very big in this ball game. And I expect last drive for Lindenwood, they got the ball back, and they were very conservative running the ball, and that is not Dan Cratchit. That is not his style of football, and I expect here after McKendree has moved a step closer, when Lindenwood gets this ball, they come out passing. They come out what got them the lead. And I'm also willing to bet that this ball does not go anywhere close to Dana Day. If it goes into Dana Day's hands, I'm awfully surprised.
Maybe we could see Gator Adams with the big return here, get him the ball this time. Or Mark Gardner, who's flanked out to the near side.
That drive, 35 yards on 7 plays. Time of possession, 2 minutes, 33 seconds. Special thanks to Shane Boyer, the Sports Information Director here at Lindenwood College.
21-13, McKendree boots the ball away. They squib kick it. You knew that was coming. And it's taken by an up back at the 30-yard line and then almost to the 35-yard line. Let's check the number on that. It looked to be Jared Meisner, number 39. Was that who that was?
Yeah, it looked to be that. Actually, it's number 29 on the carry there. Mark Felicelli from here in St. Charles, Missouri, the 5'8 sophomore, got the ball. And you could tell it was a linebacker or some sort of defensive man as Felicelli held the ball there and just ran into the pile. It's good to see Mark getting some playing time. This guy's a hard worker on this Lindenwood Lion football team. A backup linebacker, but he backs up Craig Birch. How many plays do you get when you back up Craig Birch?
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line for the Lions. Let's see what kind of play they come out with here. Brown gives it to Dana Day, a fumble, loose ball, and looks like Lindenwood may get it as I tell you what, Day was nailed right at the point of the handoff, and I think the tight end there
Yeah,
recovered it.
Carlton Rivers came up with the ball there. As soon as Day got the ball, there was deep penetration by McKendree's defensive line. Number 77, Earl Wesley, the 6', 250-pounder from Centralia, Illinois, was in to make the play. And that has gotten the McKendree crowd alive. They're up on their feet chanting for their defenses. Now they're back in the game, and now the Lindenwood cheerleaders, led by Heather Hall and Jessica Montgomery, trying to get this crowd into it.
2nd down and 18, a loss of 8 on the play from the 27-yard line. The Lions with the slot on the near side and 3 backs. Brown rolling to the near side, wants to throw to the far side. Severado has it, got blocking in front of him at the 30 and out to about the 30 where he's knocked down. He had lots of blocking, but somebody just darted through there and made a nice defensive play.
Yeah, and that was just a freshman mistake there. Number 60, Aaron Hicks, offensive lineman for Lindenwood, was out in front of Severado, had one man to block, and just didn't get the job done. He makes that block, and Severado's got all kinds of running room. That time, a big play by McKendree over there in front of their bench, and the crowd on that side starting to feel the momentum change with a big 3rd and 15 coming up here for Lindenwood.
Lots of creativity on the Lindenwood offense there. As you see a misdirection play, and it darn near worked if it wasn't for that missed block. Now Brown will have to bring his club out 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. It'll be tough here to convert on this. Let's see if they can do it. It'll be a big momentum switch as Brown steps out, goes to Severado. He's in trouble, makes one man miss, but he can't make everybody miss, and he's tackled down at about the 31-yard line. Not much there for Severado as far as running room is concerned.
Yeah, a couple of college football Division I scores of note. In the second half, Auburn leads Fresno State 56-0. Also, big number 1, the Big Red Machine, the Black Shirts from Nebraska, win 55-14 over Michigan State. And throughout this second half, we'll run you through some scores of top 25 football.
5:25. The clock continues to tick here in the 3rd quarter. Levy will step back to punt for Lindenwood on a 4th and 18. And let's see, what do we got going on? We got a fake? Nope. It's going to be a kick. O'Connell got fooled by it. As far as dropping back for McKendree, he came all the way up to cover a man, flanked out to the near side. The punt rolls all the way down inside the McKendree 40 that's down at the 38-yard line. And what was O'Connell thinking there?
Yeah, well, what happened was Lindenwood lined up the punt, and Gator Adams was spread out wide. As soon as Coach Pelker and the coaching staff for McKendree saw that, they brought the deep man up and said, hey, we know how Coach Kranzer is. We know he's not afraid when the momentum's changed, and we're going to run a fake. And they brought it up just in case.
We got a flag on the play. We got to wait and see what the call is here on this. It's right here on the near side where that little play took place as far as O'Connell going to cover out Adams. Now Adams is holding his hands out to the side like, what did I do?
And Jim, a couple other scores of note, games in progress. A big upset happening right now in the Big Ten. The Cinderella story of last year, Northwestern trails Wake Forest. Now, Wake Forest may be one of the worst Division 1A programs in college football. They lead at the half 13-10. Other games at halftime, Iowa State of the Big 12 leads 21-10 over Wyoming at the half. Also, Colorado and Colorado State are 0-0 in the first half.
Definitely going to be a lot harder this year for Coach Barnett and Northwestern. They can't really sneak up on anybody this year, and they may be finding that out in their first contest.
Wake Forest may be trying to be one of the Cinderella teams of the year this year.
College football scores. Final score.
Never really, no flag on the play. They just kind of pick it up. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line for McKendree.
Officials had a conference and decided no infraction.
Here's a handoff to Mohas going up the middle across the 40 before he's knocked down. A loose ball, but it's recovered there by Carnes, the quarterback. That ball just popped out of there.
That ball popped out. Michael Fidrich, that's Matthew Eversgerd. Matthew Eversgerd, the linebacker for Lindenwood, tried to make the play, but the quarterback for McKendree dove on it first.
Carnes was Johnny on the spot there, otherwise Lindenwood would have had themselves a turnover. 2nd and 9 from the 40-yard line for McKendree. They trail 21-13. They give it on a delay to Jared Carnes. Jared Carnes breaks a tackle, breaks over to the 45 to about the 47-yard line, and he just broke through that first wave of plays. That play looked like it was in slow motion.
It sure did, and for the first time this evening, McKendree has gone with 2 wide receivers. Actually, to be honest with you, it's 2 tight ends split out wide. These guys are huge. They split them out wide, gave it to their fullback up the middle, and it was slow motion, but he just kept on moving his legs, and as long as the running back does that, he's going to be picking up positive yards.
Exactly what McKendree wants. That gives him 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 from the 47-yard line. Carnes with the wishbone attack. Mohouse goes in motion. Carnes sets up, and we got a flag on the play. We'll have to wait and see what the call is by the officials. Quarterback Carnes seemed to be juking as the defensive line for Lindenwood went on the fake, and they're going to call illegal motion on McKendree. That'll mark him back 5 more, bringing up a 3rd down and 7.
And if I may, I'm going to have to say this is the play of the game right here. This right here will tell you who is going to win this ball game. If Lindenwood can get a stop here and get the momentum back on their side, good things will happen for them. And if I may, walking up toward our booth right now, none other than Dr. Spellman, the president here at Lindenwood College, who is doing a wonderful job here at Lindenwood.
3rd down and 7, big play in this ball game. They're coming with the blitz, a fumble by Brooks as he takes the pitch, breaks the tackle, and may have got the 1st down. We'll have to wait and see where he went out of bounds on the far side. Wow, what a break for McKendree as Brooks took the ball up the pitch from Carnes, fumbled it, it bounced right back up to him, and we'll have to see where they mark him out of bounds for, see if they get the 1st down.
And Jim, we have a special guest here as Dr. Spellman has come into the booth here, president of Lindenwood College. And Dr. Spellman, an exciting day here at Lindenwood College. Soccer teams, football teams kicking off the season. What can you say to us about the athletic program here at Lindenwood College?
Well, it's a lot of excitement. And when you look down here and see that we have over 600 students, scholar athletes involved at Lindenwood this year. And not only do we have 17 intercollegiate sports, but we have 32 teams. Not only these varsity teams, but the junior varsity and freshman teams. Big part of the excitement. And it's really great. I'm really glad the season's off, and now the year can begin.
Yes, sir, and you've got an exciting building over here with the Performance Arena coming up, and that is something that has got everybody talking here on Lindenwood College, a Performance Arena that's going to house the basketball teams, the volleyball teams, wrestling matches, all kinds of different performances. What can we expect from the Performance Arena? What does that bring to Lindenwood College?
Well, it brings a gathering place for one, because it's a big barn. You can store a lot of hay in. But other than hay for these horses, I mean, we're going to have a lot of fun there. And I don't even think when we open the doors here in a couple of weeks, people are going to really be excited. It's a super facility. The PSLs, we've even sold one to Georgia Frontier. And so we turned the corners on that. You know, we started all that stuff here.
That's right.
But it's not only going to be open, it's going to be paid for. And so that's the better part.
A special thanks to President Spellman for stopping by. He is doing a wonderful job here at Lindenwood College, and it's heading into the 20th century. Player down for McKendree here. We're going to send it back to Arthur in the studio for one of our wonderful promos. You're listening to Lindenwood College football on 89.1 KCLC.
How about a round of applause for number 21, Jared Carr.
Fourth and short here for McKendree. They're going to punt the ball as Brooks did not make the 1st down. They kick it deep, and Henry calls for the fair catch at about his 20-yard line, and that's where the Lions will take over. 1st and 10 from the 20, and a nice job by the Lindenwood defense to hold off Brooks on that far sideline and not allowing him the 1st down.
Yeah, the senior-laden defense really rose to the challenge there as Coach Naylor must have said, hey, this is the ball game, folks. We need you to step up. Quit letting them run down the middle. Quit letting them overpower you. Let's put a stop. Let Max Brown take over, and let's get some more points on the board.
3:11 in the 3rd quarter. The fans are getting rowdy here on the sidelines for Lindenwood, as the Lions will come out 1st and 10, and now we got a timeout by the Lions, and we got a little bit of confusion on the offensive side of the ball, so Lindenwood is going to have to call a timeout. with 3:10 remaining in the third.
And before I run down these a few more college scores, again, a special thanks to Dr. Dennis Spellman, who has stopped by and gave us a minute. This guy, he came to Lindenwood in 1989, and he's just been doing wonderful things for Lindenwood College ever since. This performance arena, I tell you, I can't say enough about it. It is exciting. It is one of the nicest places around, and thanks to Dennis Spellman, as he said, he's got all the PSL sold, it's paid for, and besides storing hay, as he said, it's going to be an exciting place for all sports teams. Other college games of note: USC over Illinois 55-3. That game in Champaign, and that was on Lou Tepper's birthday, so I'm sure the alumni aren't happy there. Texas Christian 20, Oklahoma 7. Ohio State in the blowout of the day, 70-7 over the Rice Owls from Houston, Texas. Back to Lindenwood College action.
3:10 remains, 1st and 10 as Max Brown has his team up at the line. 3 receivers split out. He gives the pitch to Dana Day. Dana Day tried to cut up inside. He was grabbed by his shirt. Otherwise, he had some more room, but he's taken down at about the 20-yard line.
And I just saw something real neat, Jim. On this sideline, Coach Naylor's down near the bench. He had the entire defense circled up. Anybody that plays defense for Lindenwood College was around in a huddle. They all put their heads down and they gave a little, yes, let's go. Here we go. It's almost the 4th quarter. Our offense has gotten us a lead. Let's do the job and let's not give up any more points. And that's exciting to see from the senior-laden defense.
And no gain on the play for Day. 2nd down and 10. 21-13, the Lindenwood Lions with the lead. Quick step and a throw, and dropped right in the hands of Henry. A quick 2-3 step drop by Brown. It was right in the arms of Henry, but he just dropped it.
Yeah, you better make note of that because you're not going to see that every day. A pass hitting Mark Henry in the chest, and he couldn't hold on. On comes Mario Patton, and he's going to split out wide, and that's why I look to get the ball here on 3rd and 10. Look for them to run some sort of hook pattern, some sort of quick out to Patton or maybe even Henry, and let them do what they can do best and get the 1st down.
Max Brown sets back as the shotgun. Waits a snap, takes a snap, steps back, looks, a lot of time, rolls to the near side, throws, and off the fingertips of Dana Day. He was open right at the 1st down marker, but he just couldn't quite hold on to the ball.
Yeah, Dana Day, that pass was a little bit behind him. He was right at the marker. But like I said, Dana Day's only 5'9". That pass would have been more perfect for Carlton Rivers, who's a little bit bigger, the tight end, a little upstairs and a little behind Day. He couldn't hold on, and Bill Leiby is on to punt for Lindenwood.
Good job by the offensive line there. Max Brown had all day to throw. There's the snap. It's a good one this time, and the boot. And O'Connell races to the far side of the field, takes the ball at the 45 to the 50, across into Lindenwood territory at the 45, still on his feet, runs into his own man, keeps on his feet, and he's tackled at about the 44-yard line. Nice job there by Rory O'Connell, who's done pretty well on the kickoff returns today for McKendree. McKendree takes over there, 1st and 10 on the 44-yard line of the Lindenwood Lions. They have the lead 21-13 over the McKendree Bearcats. And you really got to hand it to the Lions. They've been sticking with it. And let's see what the defense can do here, as they were just given a talking to on the sidelines. Carnes sets his club up. Gets under center. Quick giver to Brooks through the middle. Breaking tackles at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Broke through the first wave and into the end zone for the touchdown. Donald Brooks does it again for McKendree.
So much for that talk, Jim. As the defense looked asleep there, as they gave it to Brooks right up the middle, what they've been doing all game long, and that's what wishbone teams do. They're going to pound on you. They're going to pound on you all night long down the middle, and one time you're going to miss a tackle. That time, Brooks took the ball 55 yards for the score.
That makes it 21-19. Let's see if McKendree's going to go for 2. And I tell you what, a lot of arm tackling as Brooks just ran right through the line, right through the heart of the defense. No one touched him once he got to about the 30-yard line. It was all Brooks smooth sailing into the end zone. Looks like we're going to go for 2 here for McKendree. They're going for the tie with 1:59 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Big play by McKendree. They'll get back some momentum as the McKendree sideline has definitely come alive. Lindenwood, when they get the ball back, is going to have to do something. Carnes on the rollout, looks and throws, and a man wide open and into the end zone. And there it is, the extra 2 points right there. And that is Gross. Brent Gross has been all over the field in the passing game for McKendree.
Well, Lindenwood Lions, it's time to wake up now. You had a 21-7 lead with the football, a chance to blow this ball game wide open, and you've let this McKendree ball club hang in the game, and that's what happens. Teams that haven't been around, young football teams, you give them a chance to hang around the game, they're going to start thinking they can win this ball game. Now they've got the ball game tied, they've got their fans on their feet. This place is rocking and rolling, and we're back to even with 1:59 to go in the third quarter.
We definitely need a big return here from Dana Day on the Lindenwood side of the ball, but it'd be a big play here if they kick it to him, because I don't think they're going to do it at all.
I see another squib kick, maybe get it to Felicelli in the middle. Felicelli is not the fastest of foot. And that may be something McKendree looks to do here.
McKendree will line up for the kickoff. Big momentum switch for McKendree. They're alive and well on the McKendree sidelines. They're standing. Let's see if Lindenwood can come back and answer. They approach the ball. And another squib kick. And they're going to let Day get it. He has trouble with it. Picks it up at the 15, 20, 25. 30, one man to beat, spinning, and taken down at the 32-yard line. If he could have spun around that last defender, he was gone again.
Did you see this crowd, Jim? They saw the squib kick. They thought, okay, Felicelli, a linebacker, somebody's going to pick up this ball. When they saw Day get it, the entire Lindenwood College side, all the fans stood up. They thought, uh-oh, it could be another one.
Almost broken there by Day. He had one man to beat, couldn't quite get around him. I think that was Ryan Wells there with the tackle. If he would have been able to spin around that, he was clear sailing and in the green for the touchdown. Instead, it's 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Max Brown under center. Gives it to Severado, first back through, breaks a couple of tackles and gets to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and Lindenwood College basketball player Richie Austin leading the crowd in some cheers now, trying to get this crowd fired up. They're a very large crowd here at Lindenwood College, but they look to be a little stunned here earlier with a 14-point lead. Now they see their team in a tie ball game.
21 apiece, 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. The clock continues to run. Lindenwood definitely needs either a quick strike or a long drive to calm down that McKendree sideline. They're alive and well over there as Max Brown is under center. Calls out the signals. Steps back to pass. He's in trouble. He throws. It's caught by Severado. Got a little room over there. And across the 35. Loose ball over there. It's a fumble. And McKendree thinks they have it. Let's see. No call yet from the officials. And have they... A lot of people up and... Yep, it's McKendree football. Boy, tough break there. Severado tried to get outside, and a host of tackles over there for McKendree. Another turnover. That's a tough break for Lindenwood.
When things go bad, they go bad. And this is a situation in a basketball game, you call a timeout in a real hurry. Here, you just got to hope your defense, Craig Birch and Mike Choate, can step up, lead this team, and get a stop right here, because Lindenwood is in a whole heap of trouble right now.
McKendree will take the ball 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line of Lindenwood. Definitely another tough break for the offensive side of the ball. I tell you what, Max Brown had no time to get that ball off, but when he did get it to Severado, he was open, got a little bit of room, but just too many tackles over there stripping the ball away.
Back to the situation where now McKendree can go to their offense and run the ball right up the middle. Let's go right at him, and here's Brooks again. This time the big Mike Choate, the hit machine, is there to hit him, meet him in the backfield for a short loss.
That'll bring up 2nd and long for McKendree. Big step up now by the Lindenwood defense. Definitely need something to get this Lindenwood crowd back into the game, and it's awful quiet on this side of the field. 2nd and 11 we'll call it, with 40 seconds as the clock continues to run left in the third quarter. Tied at 21 apiece. Ball on the 37 of Lindenwood. Jason Carnes brings his club under center. Takes a snap. Gives it to Brooks, trying to go outside, breaking tackles, and almost broke another one across the 30 down to about the 25-yard line. And definitely McKendree's just running the ball. It seems like there's a lot of missed tackling out there.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, it looks like Lindenwood's defensive line is wearing down. That's probably, I would be willing to guess, probably the 35th running play by this McKendree Bearcat team. And their offensive line seems to be wearing Lindenwood down as we near the end of the third quarter.
15 seconds and counting as we approach the end. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Bearcats. They snap the ball going up the middle and breaking the tackle and going into the end zone. Nope, to the 10. He was one player away from breaking out of there. And that was Matt Freebairn, I believe, on the carry. But we got a flag on the play, and this one's going to come back. Holding the call against McKendree. and that was a big help for Lindenwood. Freebairn just broke out into the open field, had one man to beat, was taken down at the 10, but all for naught. It comes back.
Something I must say, having been around this Lindenwood College football program for some years now, in the past, in this situation, you would have Lindenwood College players spread out all throughout this sideline, half of them with their heads down, half of them sitting by themselves, half of them sitting on the bench doing nothing. Not right now. You've got them huddled around Dan Kratzer. You've got them huddled around Coach Naylor, and you've got them up, trying to get this crowd into it, trying to get everybody pumped up, saying, hey, we didn't come out here to lose. We came out here to win. And that's the end of the third quarter. With 15 minutes to play, we've got a tie ball game at 21. We're going to send it back to Arthur in the studio. You're listening to Lindenwood College football on 89.1 KCLC. Hey, Arthur, find an Arizona State score for me. I need to know if Arizona State and Washington, I need to know the score. But you can do that during the fourth quarter. I don't care. I'll call you. Anyway, run 2 promos, please. Run another one after this. Thanks.
One quarter of play left here as we approach the fourth quarter, tied at 21 apiece. McKendree with the ball, 1st and 20 on the Lindenwood 35 to start the fourth quarter. McKendree is definitely taking the momentum as here in the fourth quarter, the Lions sideline is trying to get themselves whooped up as the cheerleaders lead the fans in cheers on the near side. 1st and 20 after that holding call. A big play for Lindenwood as McKendree gets called for the hold. They haven't been called for many penalties, but that one's costly. We got 1 quarter left. We're tied at 21 apiece. Anything can happen. Jason Carnes brings his club up to the line from the 35. Snap and a give to the first man through, and nothing there on the carry. Jared Carnes, I believe, with the carry there. Maybe got back to the 35-yard line, bringing up a third down and 20, and this is a big play here for Lindenwood right here.
Yeah, I tell you, this is gut check time for Lindenwood College. Looking at last year's results of their 4 wins, 2 of them came in the last 2 minutes. They won their last 2 games, actually. They won by 1 point and by 4 points, and it came down to the end of the ball game. So this team has been around close games. They need to step up right now.
Big play here as Carnes sets back to pass. He's looking for Gross. He lost it to the sideline. A battle and a flag on a play at about the 10-yard line. And we'll have to see if that's offensive or defensive pass interference. A big battle there for Gross as he was being marked there heavily by number 28, Jeff Foster.
Yeah, that's going to be defensive interference on Foster. He never turned around to look for the ball. They tell you rules, as a defensive back, if you turn around and look for the football, look back to the cornerback and make contact, they're not going to throw the flag. That time he just mugged the receiver as, again, a Lindenwood secondary was beat deep, which gave McKendree a chance to move the ball down the field as now they have first down inside the 20-yard line.
Brent Gross, again, the intended receiver. He's about the only man that has been given a chance to catch the ball tonight. I believe the other tight end, Ralph Giannino, had 1 catch. Other than that, it's been all Gross's way. We'll see here, 1st and 10 from the 19 for the McKendree Bearcats. A quick hitter up the middle and a gain of maybe nothing on the play. Stepping up there, number 23 for Lindenwood, or make that 25, I believe it was Cunningham again on the play. Brooks tried to make a move, but nothing there. Is good stop there by the Lindenwood defense, bringing up 2nd and 10. And the defense definitely has got to stop him here with 13:55 remaining.
Yeah, look, that was a big play there by Sam Wells as well, number 49, the middle linebacker. He's got to step up here and stop the fullback, along with Jake House and Matthew Everskirt. Somebody's got to step up for Lindenwood.
2nd down and 8, a quick hitter to Mohouse going through the middle, still fighting for yards, not down yet across the 15 and down at about the 13-yard line. Joel Mohouse, the short 5'10 fullback, gets through there for a few yards.
He's turning into a workhorse for a little guy. They're giving him the ball inside, and it looks that once he gets the ball inside, he's so small that he's real nifty in there, and Lindenwood College players are missing him.
That brings up 3rd down and short. Well, actually about 5, we'll call it. From the 13-yard line, 3rd and 4. Got to step up here, defense. Give it to Brooks, cutting inside down to about the 5-yard line. It's going to be a first down.
Yeah, Jim, you want to talk about domination? How about in the third quarter alone, McKendree total offense 223 yards to Lindenwood's 43 yards.
Wow.
You know what even is more ironic? They had the ball exactly the same amount of time. Lindenwood College is not stepping up, and this is a big play right here as the defense, the crowd trying to get into it to get a stop here by the defense.
First and goal from the 6-yard line, quick hitter up the middle, and not much there. Big crowd is the first man through. Jared Carnes is taken down, maybe no gain.
As you look at the Lindenwood College sideline, there is one player all the way at the opposite end of the field, and it's Mario Patton. Mario Patton made a big play in the first half, and he got the big 70-yard catch. They have not gone back to him, and I think he may be a little upset about that. Everybody knows what he can do. He needs to get his head up and realize that with 12 minutes to go, there's lots of time in this football game. He needs to go over to Max Brown and say, hey, next time, get me the ball. Let me show everybody what I can do.
That was Darren Milner on the carry. He got a yard or so. Player injured on the Lindenwood sideline. 12:38, 21-21 the score. We'll call it 2nd and 5 now for McKendree.
Yeah, and we're going to send it back to the studio. You're listening to Lindenwood College football on 89.1 KCLC. Arthur, we got a player injured. Looks like he might broke his leg. I don't know, hate to speculate, but he isn't doing too well. After this, give me a few scores. Keep listening to me, though. Give me an Arizona State score if you got it. Thanks. Leon Granger. All right, when you're done, you can send it back. He's all right.
Number 98, Granger, coming back off the field for the Lions. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, he looks to be limping, coming off on his own power. A special thanks to the big man back in the studio, Big Arthur. He's running things, producing this game, cheering on these Lindenwood Lions.
Leon Granger walks off on his own power. 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line for McKendree. Jason Carnes under center. Gives it to Brooks, trying to cut up inside. Does, and he barrels his way in for the touchdown. Jared Carnes just power running.
That was straight power. Obviously, though, with the defensive back in there, number 3, Gator Adams back, only weighing 150 pounds, he got Gator Adams on his back and said, come on, son, we're going to the end zone. As McKendree has taken the lead, their first lead since 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
27-21, they'll try to tack on the extra point. And definitely the momentum is switching. McKendree, power football, smash mouth football, if you will, just running over the Lindenwood defense there in the last couple of series. Let's see if the offense, when they get the ball back, can strike quickly back the other way. There's the snap. The ball is down, the placement, and the kick is good. And
actually, the kick was
no, it's no
there.
good now. They say
one official said yes, one official said no, and now they decide no good.
No good. So the score remains 27-21. And that's a big break for Lindenwood because a touchdown and the extra point here would give them back in the lead real quick.
Yeah, we've talked about how Max Brown has stepped up, and this is really when we need to see him step up. With 12:22 to go and your team down 6, your team has given up 20 unanswered points. You've been dominated here in the second half other than the long kickoff return. You need to put together some sort of drive here. I would say probably 800 fans on the McKendree side, and they are every single one of them on their feet. The entire bench is up. They are going nuts on that side of the field, and Max Brown's the only man that's going to come out here and quiet them.
We need Dana Day with a big return here. Let's see if they kick it to him. Maybe Adams will get the ball. One of those two have got lightning quick speed. We could use a big return for the Lions. They trail by 6, 27-21, with 12:22 remaining in this football game.
That drive there, 65 yards in 10 plays. It only took 3 minutes, 41 seconds for the touchdown by McKendree.
There's a kick, another quick kick off a couple of hands and picked up by the up man and taken to about the 31-yard line.
That was picked up by a fan favorite, Mark Felicelli, a hometown hero here in St. Charles. He picked it up and said, I'm going that way, fellas. got it up to about the 35. That's where Max Brown will take over, and we'll see what this Lindenwood College football team is made of on this drive.
Max Brown definitely got to step up and be a leader, drive his team into the leading score and possibly to victory here as we start to wind this game down with 12-18 here on opening night.
Another special guest has stepped into the booth here, assistant baseball coach Jason Vito. As all these athletic programs are turning around, what can we expect from the baseball program this year, Jason?
Well, we got a new young crop coming in. They look real good, a couple catchers, a couple infielders. I think we're going to do pretty well.
Thank you, Jason. That's assistant baseball coach Jason Vito stepping in here on KCLC Radio. Lindenwood Athletics on the way up. We need a drive here from Max Brown and the Lion offense to get us a victory here today.
He comes in with two receivers, one split to one side, one to the bottom side. Brown steps back to pass, going for a loft for Henry. The ball is up and incomplete. Oh, Henry almost came down with that, as that was just a timing pattern where Max Brown just lofted it down as Henry almost had it. Then it was a nice defensive play there at the 45-yard line to knock it away.
Yeah, the defensive back for McKendree, Chris Luth, a 5'9 player going up against 5'9 Mark Henry. It was just a jump ball situation. We throw the ball deep, see who can come down with it, try and get a big play. And look for Lindenwood here to go back to the basics. The quick hitters to Mario Patton, the quick hitters to Dana Day, and start to utilize their speed some more.
Darian Benton checks in as Henry comes off the field. Brown in the shotgun, steps back. Looks in trouble, rolling. Now he's throwing the ball deep down. There's Benton open near the sideline, and he overthrew him, incomplete. At about the 50-yard line, bringing up 3rd and long, and that's not what Lindenwood wanted.
3rd and long, not the situation they wanted. It's still a surprise to me, these plays they've been calling this second half. First they came out and tried to run the ball. They had a big lead, which is understandable. But here they're trying to go deep, and that is not their offense. Max Brown is not the best deep passer in the country. Let me tell you, but it's when it comes to 3, 5, 7-yard timing plays, the guy's going to hit you in the numbers more times than not.
Henry checks back in on this play, bringing up 3rd and 10. Max Brown in the shotgun as they send 4 receivers to the near side. Look for a clear out for Henry maybe. Brown steps up, looks, throws, and incomplete. And that was intended for Severado. Almost pass interference there, but that was like double coverage there.
Jim, looking down the field, I see Mario Patton probably 50 yards down the field, and there's not a Bearcat within 30 yards of him, standing there jumping up and down, screaming. He ran over to the sideline, and he's sitting with his head in his hands, wondering, how can I get the football? I'm one of the most explosive players on this team, and they're not getting me the football.
They've only got him the ball that one time, and it was a nice big 70-yard gainer that set up the first touchdown. As Lindenwood will punt, and O'Connell will call for the fair catch at about the 38-yard line. So McKendree will take over with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line with 11:54 left, and you know their game plan.
Jim, that 3-play drive took a total of 16 seconds. 16 seconds off the clock, you move no yards, and you punt the ball back, and you put the pressure back on your weary defense. But I guess you've got an all-American anchor in this defense. If you're going to win football games this year, you're going to have your defense step up, and this is the time right here. There's no more chances for you, Lindenwood College. This is it right here, Craig Birch. Let's see if you're the real all-American. If you're the real deal, let's go Lindenwood.
1st and 10, Jason Carnes with his club at the line. Quick give to Mohouse, going through the middle at about the 40-yard line before he's stacked up there. And a loose football. Lindenwood says they have it. Let's see. Yes, Lindenwood's got the ball. A fumble and a big turnover by the defense. They came through that time.
Big number 99, Brad Lincoln, the 6'5", 250-pound junior out of Smithville, Missouri, made some big plays earlier in this ball game, and that time got in and made the hit, turned the ball over, and now they've got the momentum back. Just what they needed. That's what we're talking about. That's what Coach Naylor expects from this defensive line. Make big plays when your team's in the need of them.
Ball spotted on the 40-yard line of McKendree. Max Brown brings his club to the line, trying to take advantage of the turnover by McKendree. He'll step back and give a late delay to Dana Day, running through tacklers and over another one and down at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, if the official wouldn't have been in the way there, Day could have gone daylight there. But the official was in the way. Had to make a couple of extra cuts, which opened up time for McKendree to make the play. Lindenwood now has the momentum. Mario Patton coming to the sideline, pointing deep, saying, I can get deep. I can get deep. Look for Lindenwood here in the next couple of plays to look for Patton in the end zone.
Max Brown under center. steps back. In trouble, rolling to the near side. Gets a block, sets up and throws to Rivers. The tight end, incomplete. He had it almost and dropped it at the 20-yard line. He was looking for his tight end.
Yeah, Carlton Rivers is one of the big-time players on this team out of East St. Louis High School. He came up with 42 receptions last year for 475 yards as a tight end. The guy just usually goes down the middle of the field, plants himself, turns with his big body, and makes the catches. And in this last 11 minutes, he may become one of Max Brown's favorite targets.
Should be about 3rd and 1 on this play. Big play, 11:06. The clock is stopped. 27-21. The McKendree Bearcats over the Lindenwood Lions. Max Brown under center. Barks out to signals. Gives it to Dana Day. Gets the first down and more. Breaking through tacklers to the 15. Down to the 10. Big play by Dana Day.
Dana Primetime Day, that's his new name. When this team is in need, get their ball to number 1. Dana Day, the 5'9 junior from Bolingbrook, Illinois, is for real. The real deal here in the backfield for Lindenwood College. When they need points, give the ball to Dana Day. And I suspect they go to either Dana Day or Mark Henry, the two guys that have carried this offense so far this ball game.
Great play by Dana Day. Now we got a whistle and a timeout by McKendree. With 10:52 remaining in the 4th quarter to score 27-21. Let's send it back. This is Lindenwood Lions football.
You're doing a sweet job, Arthur. You're the man.
(27-21). The McKendree Bearcats lead the Lindenwood Lions with 10:52 remaining in the 4th quarter. With the Lions had the ball 1st and 10 on the McKendree 11-yard line. A big run there by Dana Day.
Yeah, if you're a college football fan, a Lindenwood Lion fan, or a McKendree Bearcat fan, you couldn't ask for a better opener than this. What a way to kick off the football season. What can you expect the rest of the season from this team?
Max Brown will bring his club out. 1st and 10 from the 11. McKendree had to call a timeout there as they had a little confusion on the defensive side. Brown under center. Barks out the signals. Gives it wide to Dana Day, trying to go outside. May cut the corner. He does. 5 and outside of bounds at about the 4-yard line. Definitely seeing the speed again of Primetime Day.
Wow. There were about 4 or 5 linebackers, defensive linemen for McKendree that had angles on him, and he beat the angle. This guy got to the corner in a real hurry, and he's going to set up a situation where Lindenwood punch it in and get the lead.
Damian Doss ran him out of bounds, otherwise he just about turned the corner, bringing up a 2nd down and 3 from the 3-yard line, or make that 2nd down and 2 from the 3-yard line. 10:45 remaining. Max Brown under center. Dana Day as the I-back in the backfield. They give it to him, trying to cut inside, spins around and gets to about the 2-yard line, and maybe to the 1-yard line, I should say. Didn't quite get in. Somebody grabbed him on the play there and threw him around, almost threw him into the end zone.
Yeah, he only weighs 175 pounds. He's not a big-time bruiser that's going to just run people over. Somebody just grabbed him, threw him around, spun him around, and he fell down at the 2-yard line. 3rd down and goal from the 2.
Big play here. Lions trail by 6. The crowd starts to get into it. Max Brown under center. He fumbles the football. Day picks it up, runs in the end zone. Touchdown! Wow, what a play by Day, picking up the loose ball off the bad snap. Touchdown, Lindenwood.
Can I ask for any more from this guy? Dana Day has been everywhere tonight. A return punt, or a return kickoff, 80 yards. That time he made all kinds of big plays, and what looked to be the biggest mishap of the game for Lindenwood turns into what could be the lead for Lindenwood. A fumble snap by Max Brown. It bounces right to where Mr. Day is, always around the football. Touchdown, Lindenwood.
27 apiece, the extra point coming. Bill Levy ready to put it through the uprights. As we await the snap. There's the snap, the ball's down, the kick is up, and good! So with 10-11 remaining here in the 4th quarter, the Lindenwood Lions have taken the lead 29-27. That's 28. Excuse me. Getting a little anxious there.
Hey, we wish it was 29-7. 29-27, excuse me. Lindenwood with the 1-point lead, and now back again. It's on the defense's shoulders. They stepped up once. You've got a little bit of a lead. Every time Lindenwood has gotten a little bit of a lead, the defenses seem to relax a little bit. Here, I don't expect it. I think they sense, hey, we've come back. They battled back. We weathered their best shot. We've got the lead back. Let's end this ball game. Let's dominate them right here, get the ball back to our offense, and let's get to a 1-0 start.
28-27. Levy will kick the ball off. Brooks and O'Connell back deep once again for McKendree. Special teams have been very good so far on these kickoffs. And Levy brings his club up to the line. McKendree drops off as they don't attempt the onside kick. Dana Day, what can you say about Dana Day stepping
Dana
up?
prime time Day, that is. He is the man. That drive 39 yards on 6 plays, took 135. Look for Lindenwood special teams to make a big play here.
O'Connell from his goal line. 10, 15, 20, and that's it. Nothing more there as he's buried at the 20-yard line. And that's where McKendree will take over with 10:04 remaining in the third quarter.
Still leading the cheers, Lindenwood College basketball player Richie Austin, getting this crowd hyped up a bit as the cheerleaders starting to follow Richie.
Jeff Maderi, the tackle there for Lindenwood on the play. And McKendree will come out 1st and 10 from their own 20. 10:04 left. Big time momentum switch for Lindenwood. They're all up on their feet and ready to go. Quick hitter up the middle and maybe a yard. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play.
You're not going to run at Mr. Mike Choate all night long. Choate has started to throw blockers out of his way here as he senses that his defensive ability can win this ball game if they can get a stop right here and get the ball back into the hands of the offense.
Yep, they mark it down, 2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line. Carnes brings his club up to the line. Darren Milner is checked into the game. He carries the ball, breaks a couple tackles, gets 1st down yards, and tackled at about the 35-yard line.
What McKendree is doing is very basic. People say the wishbone is very complex. It's very basic. We have 3 running backs. We have a big offensive line. We just hit you. We bring the backs coming right at you, and we open up holes to where you can't stop us. That's all they've done is say, hey, we're coming up the middle. They haven't made any big runs on the outside. Lindenwood has to step up. The linebackers, Mike Choate has done a great job, but Jay Callis and Matt Eversgerd have to step up in the middle.
1st and 10, they give the ball to Brooks, breaking outside, breaks a couple tackles, and down to the 40-yard line before he's tackled there.
By big Sam Wells, the 6-foot sophomore out of Palestine, Texas. And we all know how they play football down there in Texas. They get the job done, and that's exactly what Sam Wells did there.
Lindenwood leads by 2. McKendree has the ball by 1, excuse me.
Jim's still wanting the Lindenwood Lions to
That's
have
right.
29, not 28. The scoreboard here does look like 29.
2nd and 5 now for McKendree. They fake it. They roll out, they throw, and there's Gross, or make that the other tight end, open and close to a 1st down. That was number 5, Jason Stanton, with the catch, and he was very close to the 1st down. We'll have to see. Yep, they give him the 1st down. Another 1st and 10 for McKendree on their own 45-yard line with 8:35, and that clock continues to tick down.
Yeah, Coach Pelker's done a nice job. They've run probably 90% of the time, but when they do pass, they've called it on exactly the right times. Every time they've called a pass, they've rolled the right direction. They've had the defense cheating up, and they've done a nice job in that, and it's got them 1 point down with 8.5 minutes to go in this ball game.
Carnes brings his club up to the field again. A quick hitter up the middle. Milner looks to be the ball carrier. Got a couple to about the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. Bringing up 2nd and about 7. Milner definitely getting a lot of carries here in the 2nd half. As we've seen, Jared Carnes has not been in the ball game this series yet.
Yeah, I can't see him over on the sideline to be injured or not. They just may be looking for a little bit of a change-up, give him a quick breather.
Get that fresh body in there, since that's all they've been doing is running the football. They've been doing a good job of it, trying to keep control. Now they split out their tight ends, 1 to each side. A quick hitter to Milner. There's a flag on the play. Milner crosses midfield and into Lindenwood territory, down at about the 46, but there's a flag.
And it looks like that's from the area of a holding call, and it is. For the first time tonight, we've got a holding call on the offensive line. They've done a nice job all night for McKendree, but that time they got caught trying to cheat and trying to hold Mike Choate.
That'll bring up 2nd and long. Or make that 3rd and long. 3rd and about 18 after they mark this off. 7:44 remains. Lindenwood Lions up by 1, 28-27 here on opening night at Harlan Hunter Stadium. And we got a wild one going here. Definitely a great ball game. The fans are into it. All kinds of people here. Even McKendree bringing up a big crowd on the far side of the field. They've had their moments. Now it's time to shut them down and take home the victory. 2nd and long. McKendree brings their tight end split out, 1 to each side. He's throwing deep for Gross again. He's got him open and caught. First down, extra yards, and down inside the Lindenwood 35. We'll call him down at about the 32-yard line. Boy, I tell you, Brent Gross has been open all day long down there on the sidelines.
I don't know what it's going to take, but Kurt Keller, the defensive secondary coach for the Lindenwood Lions, is going to have to do something this week to improve their secondary. They came in as one of the strong points of this team. 3 seniors in that secondary, but they've been burnt time and time again. And here's McKendree moving the ball down the field with 7.5 minutes to play in this one.
Jeff Foster was a defender on that player. He comes out of the game and has a seat. There's a give to Brooks going outside, breaking tackles across the 25, down inside, close to the 20. We'll mark him down at the 21-yard line. 7:16, the clock continues to run. That was a first down carry for Brooks.
That tackle made by number 20, Michael Jackson, playing inserted into the secondary for Foster. And again, here it is. Sam Wells, Mr. Foster, Mr. Choate, Mr. Birch. It's time to step up. McKendree moving the ball on the 21-yard line with 7 minutes to go in this one. Lindenwood leads 28-27.
2nd and 2 from the 22-yard line. Jason Carnes comes under center again. How about a turnover right about here? There's a play-action pass. Carnes in trouble trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard.
That would have been a nice play, except you ran into the arms of Mr. Craig Birch. 18 quarterback sacks last year, and that's missing 4 games. That's 2.5 sacks a game last year, All-American in the NAIA, and you don't run right at him. That's just not a good idea, because when you run at him, he's going to move the blocker out of the way, and he's going to make a big play. Here, 3rd and short. Should be interesting to see the call here by the McKendree Bearcats.
6 minutes, 16 seconds, the clock runs. Big play here for the defense. Quick hitter up the middle and close to a first down. It's going to depend on where they spot it. That was a quick hitter to the fullback right up the middle. Brooks was the fullback on that play. Got just across the 20-yard line. We'll see. Are they going to call for a measurement here? It's got to be close. Lindenwood thinks they kept him short. 4th down. They're going to call it 4th and short. Yep, they're going to bring the chains out. Now they are. 6:02 as they call a timeout.
And big Mo Pat, number 2 on the sidelines. The electrifying wide receiver trying to get this crowd into it, raising his towel, raising his hand, saying, let's go. Our defense has played tough all night long, and it is a...
They haven't rolled.
Whoa. We have some discrepancy here. We're talking
it's close.
Fingernail.
Carnes says it's a first down.
Take another look. It's going to be 4th and less than an inch. Wow. And I'm willing to bet this is a call that's often criticized when they give the ball to a running back here. I think it's going to be Carnes right over the top. Quick count. Give it to him right over the middle. I don't care if it's Mike Choate, Dana Stubblefield, Charles Haley, anybody right there on that line, you're getting it. The crowd's going nuts. 4th and short for McKendree.
4th and short. Carnes comes to the line. Will it be a sneak? We'll have to wait and see. The crowd's really into it here. This is a big play. Got to step up. Carnes checks over the line. They're stacking them. Everybody up in the line. Morehouse goes in motion. And now they want to call a timeout. Timeout with 5:53 remaining here in the 4th quarter with a big 4th and 1 play coming up. The score, Lindenwood 28, the McKendree Bearcats 27. Let's send it back. This is Lindenwood Lions football. 28-27, 5:53. The big fourth down in about inches coming up for McKendree on the Lindenwood 20-yard line. Lindenwood leads it by 1, and the defense has got to come up big right here. Big play coming up. They walk back out onto the field after the timeout. The fans are definitely getting into this game. They recognize that this could be a big stop for Lindenwood and give them the momentum to lead them to victory if they can stop them here and get the ball back.
Yeah, that time they went under center, and they were looking to draw Lindenwood off sides. The veteran defensive line didn't do that. They called timeout, and it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and short. Should be interesting to see this call.
Carnes comes to the line. Mohouse flanked out to this near side. Well, let's see. They give it to Brooks, trying to go outside. I don't think so. He's tackled behind the 20-yard line. I don't think he got it. Wow, what a big play. Surprised they called it to the outside. Big play by the Lions. Unbelievable. For some reason, Coach Felker decided to run to the outside after they had run so well up the middle. The defense with a big stop, turning the ball over to the offense. Big play by Lindenwood.
Yeah, and a guy I've criticized tonight, the middle linebacker Sam Wells, the sophomore from Palestine, Texas. They've been running at him all night long, and what do you expect from him? Nothing better but stepping up with 6 minutes to go on a short yardage stop.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. 5:49 remains here in the fourth quarter. Lindenwood up by 1. Max Brown under center. Pitches a day, trying to go to the outside, 25. Got to the 30. He may turn the corner, 35, 40. And knocked out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Dana Day steps up again.
Can I get this guy to be more of prime time? This guy, when Lindenwood has needed him, has done nothing but produce. Nothing but produce. I feel sorry for him because he's going to have all kinds of expectations on him now. Come next week, they're going to be wanting him to do all these electrifying things. But if there's somebody that can do it, it'd be Dana Day.
Big run by Dana Day. The crowd gets into it. They can smell victory with 5:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Max Brown brings his club up to the line. Flankers spread out with a slot to the near side. Dana Day in the backfield takes the pitch, breaks one tackle, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, getting across the 50 to about the 49-yard line. Once again, we saw right there Lindenwood spreading the field out, even though they're trying to run the ball, simply because Dana Day has got the speed to cover the area.
Yeah, you don't need many blockers when you have someone like Dana Day, because when you have Dana Day, someone with this kind of speed, when you pitch it to him, he's going to outrun the defensive lineman. There's nobody on the field that can run with him, but there's not a defensive lineman on this McKendree team that can cut an angle on him. So it's really no need to block him. It's just pitch it out, outrun somebody, get to the corner, and let's see if we can break one.
2nd and 10. 5 minutes remaining in the game. Boy, what a ball game we've had. Max Brown under center. Looks like McKendree's coming with a blitz. They do a quick stop and a hit, and caught by Benton. Darian Benton caught the ball inside the 45 to about the 42 before he's brought down. Almost fumbled the ball. Held on, and he's taken down. And a surprise call there is a quick hitter.
Yeah, a quick hitter for Benton, and this has been a story game for guys from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Benton, from the same hometown as Dana Day, makes the catch, moves the chains. There's nothing else you can ask for, as now we've got 3rd down and short for Lindenwood.
4:20, the clock is running. The crowd's really into it. This is great to see here at Lindenwood on the campus. All kinds of people up here clapping their hands, hooping it up. 3rd and 4, big play for Lindenwood to keep this clock running. Max Brown under center. Barks it out, and problems there, gives it to Day, but he is hit in the backfield and dropped. And that play had no chance in the beginning, as Max Brown had a man in his face on the handoff before he could even get it to Day. Day did get the ball. Luckily, they did not fumble, but Day was hit immediately. No gain on the play. In fact, they lose yardage, and it brings up 4th down and about 8. We'll call it 7 on the play. And Levy will be back to punt for Lindenwood with 3:32 on the clock running. Good snap. And it gets a nice high kick. O'Connell's going to let it bounce. And it takes a nice Lindenwood bounce. And it goes out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Good job by Levy on the punt. And that's where McKendree will take over, deep in their own end.
Again, Lindenwood special teams, they're going to force McKendree with a running offense to go 90 yards in just over 3 minutes against a fired-up Lindenwood College defense. They're going to have the crowd behind them, and this is the battle right here. Lindenwood's power defense against McKendree's power running attack.
You couldn't ask for anything more here on opening night. 1st and 10 from their own 11. McKendree will bring it out. Defense needs to come up big now. 3:22 remains. Carnes under center. Gives it a first back through. Nothing there. Good job by the defense. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And it brings up 2nd down and long. And Brooks was the ball carrier. He got, well, now they're going to give him a couple yards in the play. They mark him down at about the 12-yard line.
I'm sure that the Lindenwood captains on defense are stressing, just make the tackle. Don't let them break anything long. Let's just bring them down and concentrate on making the fundamental tackles.
Guess what here? Looks like McKendree's going for the pass. Dropping back, looking for guess who? Gross. Open on the sideline again. The ball's lifted. And what a play by Cunningham, but we got a flag on the play. Oh, I can't believe they called a flag there.
Yeah, it looks like finally Scott Cunningham was ready for that pass, but it looks like he did look back, but it looks like he had his left arm resting on the wide receiver and a little bit of a push there. A questionable call. Obviously not a call the hometown team likes with 2.5 minutes to go, but it is pass interference on Lindenwood, which moves the sticks for McKendree.
They'll mark the ball at the 23-yard line of McKendree. They'll have it 1st and 10 there. 2:43 remains in the game.
Stay tuned after this game as we'll bring you post-game interviews with Coach Dan Kratzer and the Lindenwood College KCLC player of the game.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. McKendree comes to the line. They split Gross out to the top side. Look for him to get the ball. Steps back, and they're going to loft another one to the sideline to Gross. He's battling a man, and incomplete off his hands at the Lindenwood 45. And he almost caught that one, too.
Wow, and it was almost interference again by Cunningham. And expect Lindenwood on these next couple of plays to drop Jeff Foster over and maybe run some double teams. Something there. Obviously, the running backs aren't going to bust it up the middle. They may bust up the middle, but they're not going to break a 70-yard run with this much speed on Lindenwood. Try and stop. You can't let single coverage go with 2 minutes to go in this ballgame.
2nd and 10, and I tell you what, I would definitely put 2 men on Gross as he's going again to the top side of the field, splitting himself out. Cunningham looks like he's going to get the coverage. There's a snap and a quick give to Brooks trying to go outside. Does break some tackles across the 35 down at the 36-yard line, bringing up 3rd and short. The clock runs 2:27. And I'm really surprised McKendree is not really pressuring here on the defense using the 2-minute offense. They're just going back in the huddle as the clock continues to run.
Yeah, 3rd and short here. Obviously, this is 2-down territory trailing with 2 minutes to go. But expect him to call maybe 2-3 plays in the huddle this time and try and work it without a huddle.
Gross goes out to the top side. Carnes under center. A quick hitter up the middle, and they don't get it. They won't get it the 1st down. Milner, the ball carrier.
And you know who was there to stop the guy who stepped up in this 4th quarter, Sam Wells, the sophomore out of Palestine, Texas, and he's going to bring up 4th down, and here's the ball game, folks. With 1:40 remaining, it's 4th and short for the McKendree Bearcats.
Need to step it up right here. This is the ball game, folks. 4th and 3. Lindenwood trying to get the crowd into the game. Big play, 1:30. Clock continues to tick. Carnes to the line. They're stacking that line. A lot of people moving. Now we got a flag. What's going to happen? What's going to be the call? All kinds of movement. Looks like an illegal procedure call against McKendree. Boy, what a big mistake there. Carl Walker, the right tackle, looked like he moved, and that's going to be the call.
That's one of those things I tell you, Jim. It's all about being a first-year program. Hey, we're in our 1st game of the year, and we're in a ball game. We're down by 1 with 1 minute to go. I'm a little bit nervous. What do I do here? A quick jump, a little bit of a flinch, and all of a sudden, you've got a 4th down and about 6.5 instead of 4th down and 1.5 yards. We're going to have timeout by McKendree with 1:16 to play. Send it back to Arthur for our final break of the ball game. You're listening to Lindenwood College football on 89.1 KCLC.
It may be a nice cool 76 degrees right out here at Harlan Hunter Stadium. The action is hot. It's 1:16 left. Lindenwood up by 1, 28-27 here on opening night. We got a timeout on the field, a big 4th and 6 call from the McKendree 32-yard line. The Bearcats from McKendree have the ball, and this is the ball game right here. Big play coming up. Boy, you just can't say enough for this crowd. They're all on their feet, all ready to go on this big 4th down.
Just checking with our stats crew there. Dana Day with 16 carries for 94 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, one coming on an 80-yard kickoff return. And here's the ball game. It's not about Dana Day. It's not about Dan Kratzer. It's about this defense. It's about who wants it more right now.
Got to step up, Big D, Big D. Let's go. 1:16 left. Carnes brings his club to the huddle. The crowd all standing on their feet. You can't ask for anything more. 4th and 6 from the McKendree 32-yard line. This is the ball game. Carnes under center. Takes the snap. Steps. Looks. Rolling. Trying to get the ball to Gross. He's in trouble. He throws. The ball is up in the air and intercepted. Picked off. Running with the football back the other way. Lindenwood down the sideline. Back into McKendree territory. Big interception. Jeff Foster runs it back to the 35-yard line of McKendree. Big time step up by the D.
What an ironic finish. A guy that's been beat all night long. McKendree hasn't passed the ball a lot, but when they have, they've gone right after Foster and right after Cunningham. Where do they go to end the game? Right at him, and who steps up? None other than Mr. Foster. The big-time interception. Here Lindenwood with exactly 1 minute to go leads this one 28-27. Expect Coach Kratzer to just give simple handoffs, maybe even kneel on the ball, as McKendree only has 2 timeouts remaining.
2 timeouts remaining, a minute left. Ball spotted on the McKendree 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Max Brown under center. Will Dana Day go over 100 yards? He's got 94. They give him the ball. Dana Day cuts outside. He gets to the 30. He may cut the corner. Down to the 20. Down to the 15. And another first down. The clock runs. Dana Day. Wow. Now they say he rolled out of bounds. This clock stops with 51.5 seconds. Dana Day over 100 yards for this evening.
That's just big time. Let me tell you, big offensive lineman Gordy Pongratz, the 6'2", 280-pound sophomore, was all the way down the field there as they're starting to feel the victory. The offensive line has got their second win, started to move down, and expect this Lindenwood Lion team to build on this victory throughout the season.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Just a matter of running out the clock now. Brown under center. Dana Day out in the eye in the backfield. Takes the handoff. Cuts up the middle. He may go in for the end zone. 5, touchdown! Dana Day caps off the evening. Another touchdown. 34-27, Lindenwood.
There is our KCLC Lindenwood College player of the game. Dana Primetime Day just went over the 100-yard mark. He's got 18 carries for 100-plus yards and his 3rd touchdown to go along with an 80-yard kickoff return, which we really thought would blow this game wide open. McKendree made a battle, and now Lindenwood has answered the call with great defense, which has put this offense in position to score.
34-27, the extra point coming from Levy, with only 46.2 seconds left in the contest. There's the snap. There's the kick. It is good. Tack on one more. 35 for Lindenwood. 27 for McKendree. 46.2 seconds left. The crowd's into it.
Yeah, and I tell you, with 46 seconds to go, there's still a chance. An 8-point game of scoring a 2-point conversion, and they're back in this ball game. Look for Lindenwood for a little squib kick down the middle. Maybe McKendree tries some sort of trickery, and the special teams will still have to play. This game is not over by any means. Sure, as Lindenwood College fans on the Lindenwood College Sports Network, we are cheering for Lindenwood. We are homers. But I tell you, Lindenwood College is in a great position to go 1-0 in this campaign.
They'll tee it up here from the 35-yard line. Brooks goes back. O'Connell goes back. I don't believe either one of them will see the ball. Let's see if they'll go for the squib kick.
That drive, 36 yards, 2 plays, in only 18 seconds.
Quick. Dana Day.
That's just the story of this ball game. Can Lindenwood score quickly as they put 35 points on the board? That's what they're going to have to do most this year. The defense is going to create turnovers and all whatnot, and it looks like there'd be a little bit of confusion. Lindenwood special teams as Mike Gardner trying to signal timeout.
Yeah, the Lindenwood sideline wants a
They're
timeout
screaming
here.
for timeout. Nobody sees it. Now they finally do.
Yep, they get the timeout with 46.2. That's, for some reason, Lindenwood had a little mishap. Coach Kratzer agreeing with the decision to call the timeout.
Yeah, it looks like they must have seen something there in the McKendree special teams that was a little different. Maybe they're going to try some sort of trick play. Hey, you've got 3 timeouts left. There's only a minute left. You're winning. What the heck? You don't get any bonus points for taking timeouts in the locker room. Let's use one. Make sure this is our first game. Make sure that we're ready for anything. Be fundamentally sound. Run your lanes. Make a tackle. Let's go home and win this ball game.
Yeah, he's probably telling his club, watch out for the end around or some kind of reverse.
The end
a
around
trick play.
or the, as all you St. Louis Rams fans know about crazy Todd Kinchin, let's run to one side, throw it to another. This is AstroTurf. You will get true bounces. It's always a possibility here.
46.2 left on the game clock. Fourth quarter. 35-27. Lindenwood Lions with the lead over the Bearcats. Levy waits for McKendree to take the field after their timeout. Now they want to send up this is an odd alignment here for McKendree. Only 2 people deep. Let's see what they do. They give it a squib kick. O'Connell's going to get the ball. Bounces over his head. He chases it back. Takes it on his 5. 10. In trouble to the 15, trying to cut the corner. Now he's going to reverse his field and come back the other way. He's got 1 man to beat. He's at a 20. Now he's at a 25. Boy, he ran about 100 yards in that play. He's still going. And he runs himself out of bounds.
That's a great job by the special teams of Lindenwood. A lot of teams, as soon as he came to the near side of the field, everybody would have run to the ball. They stayed home. They stayed in their lanes. And when he cut back, there was nothing but black jerseys there waiting for him. With 32.4 seconds, it's nothing but academic for the Lindenwood Lions.
32.4 left. And the reason I say he ran 100 yards is because he started at the near hash mark, came to the near sideline, turned around, walked all the way to the other sideline before he was tackled. 32.4 left. Carnes under center. They got the tight end split out wide. Carnes is checking out the line. Steps back. Looks. Gross is taken out. Now Carnes with it. Almost taken down. Stays on his feet in the throw to Gross, and he's down at about the 25-yard line. He tried to get the ball to Gross.
Gross, as soon as he left the line there, Jim, Ryan O'Connor was there, hit his legs. They were on the ground, and yet he got up, made the catch, but actually he lost a couple of yards.
10 seconds. This may be the last play. Carnes steps back, throws, and incomplete with 5.6. It'll be 3rd and 12 for McKendree.
A reminder, after this ball game, stay tuned as we will bring you Coach Dan Kratzer will join us for a post-game interview, along with the KCLC player of the game, Dana Day. We're looking to grab him and bring him up to the booth and get some comments from him on his first game here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium.
5.6. This may be the last play. Carnes steps back. He's in trouble. He just throws up a prayer and intercepted at the 50-yard line. And now lateral there to Foster. Foster running with the ball down the sidelines to the 20 and tackled at the 15-yard line. Time expires. The final score, Lindenwood 35, McKendree 27, and the Lions win their home opener.
That's a big victory. Some down on the field, Coach Kratzer and Coach Naylor are not very happy there as after the interception they started pitching the ball around. These are young kids. They're looking to score, and you think, hey, that's fun in games, but very easily could somebody have dropped that football. McKendree picked it up. Crazier things have happened in the game of college football.
There is a flag on the play, and this could probably be right at the spot of the lateral. Probably a forward pass, as maybe he didn't get the lateral back. We'll have to see how they rule on this.
Yeah, the game cannot, there's 0-0-0 on the clock, but a game cannot end on a defensive penalty. They're having a bit of a conference.
Looks like McKendree may get one more shot at it. 35-27 to score right now. The play in question happened right at midfield. The officials are trying to rule on it. Looks like there's nobody really stepping up to make the call or tell everybody what's going on. Let's see what they rule. McKendree can't decide to accept the penalty or decline the penalty. The reason being in question is because there was a change of possession, and that's it. That's the ball game. 35-27 to final.
Hello, win column, number 1 on the year for Dan Kratzer and the Lindenwood Lions. A 35-27 victory for Lindenwood here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium, and a lot of fans going to go home happy tonight. We're going to send it back to Arthur. He'll bring you up to date on all the college football scores, give you the weather, and all that kind of good stuff in the sports world. We're going to kick it back here. We're going to run down, grab Dan Kratzer and Dana Day. We'll be back in 2 minutes with all your post-game wrap-up. You want the interview inside?
When Kratzer comes up, you guys just look this direction, but you got to be over here so we don't get the lights in.
Okay.
So you can do the post-game show aim this way.
Hey Dave, Arizona State winning? Need to know. Might be buying. I got some questions. Do you want to ask anything?
Yeah, I'll ask a few.
Okay.
I just got a couple of things. The onside kick early. Ask him about that. Big play on the defense.
I'll introduce him. I'll ask him a question, and you ask the next question.
You got enough cable to get all the way out the door? Shoot it in there. The Prancer. Got more light in there. They wanted to shoot it out with the background here.
Wilson just said he wants to.
Oh, he wants them in here? Okay.
No, I said
Wilson
the same
changed
thing.
it. That's why I heard they want to shoot them out here against that. But
Hang in there, Arthur. Hang in there. Run a few promos. We got to find Uncle Danny. He just said he wanted us in here.
Coach is still in the field. There'll be a post-game show until he gets up here. He's still in the field.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, moving staff.
Shane Boyer, is he around?
Come back, Shane.
Uncle Shane?
35-27 the final here. Big win on opening night for the Lindenwood Lions as they huddle down in the near end zone. And you can't say anything more but Dana Day this evening.
Dana Day, what a debut here at Lindenwood College. He came out here, and many people were talking about him starting at the halfback, running back kicks, and he let no one down. Over 20 carries, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, including an 85-yard kickoff return, which was an electrifying moment here in this ballgame. As well as a key moment in the ball game. Lindenwood had a third down on the 2-yard line. Max Brown fumbled the snap, and who was there to pick it up? None other than Dana Day. He had more key runs than anyone else in this ball game, more key plays in this ball game. Lindenwood stopped on a 4th down and short, down way with their backs against the wall, and who makes the first run? 30 yards, Dana Day, get him out of a hole and open up things for him. The team is down on the field right now praying. We're waiting for Dan Kratzer to come up, have a little post-game interview with him. Also, our KCLC player of the game, Dana Day, and he's everybody's player of the game. Also, the defense stepped up here. Craig Birch, the All-American of last year, 18 sacks last year. He let no one down tonight, anchored the defense, gave up quite a few rushing yards. They had the bend but don't break mentality today.
Big plays all around and a big momentum switch by the fans tonight. They came out, they turned out, and we definitely want you back again next home game, which is September 28th against Evangel. That'll be a 7 o'clock game as the Lions will go on the road for 2 games, at Culver Stockton next week and Baker University the week after. And as we stated earlier, still you could see the fans standing and cheering here at the last minutes of the game while it was still on edge.
Yeah, something, to be quite honest with you, that hasn't happened around here a lot. Lindenwood College football has not gotten the props, if you will, that it deserves. In years past, you know, when the team's going 2-7, 2-8, 3-9, whatever it may be, you were getting a couple hundred people on here. It was nothing more than a high school football game. But if you're going to have exciting football games like that, when you've got exciting players like Mario Patton, Max Brown, Dana Day on the offensive side of the ball that are going to put points on the board, you're going to put butts in the seats, and you're going to have a lot of people here throughout this season. As you said, Lindenwood travels to Culver Stockton and Baker University, and looking at the preseason football coaches poll for the Heart of America Conference, those two teams are down near the bottom, the 8th and 9th ranked teams in the conference, and so it should be Lindenwood comes back home late September with possibly a 3-0 record, looking to face Evangel College, who is up there near the top. So you could have two undefeated teams here late in September, a game that KCLC will bring you, two undefeated teams playing for the lead in the Heart of America Conference. We're going to send it back to Arthur. Couple promos. Dan Kratzer will be with us after that. You're listening to KCLC Radio 89.1.
How you doing? Huh?
Yeah, I'll go. Wait for me. I got to wrap on this. Keep going, Art. Keep going. I need about... Can they just grab a player?
Huh?
Just grab Dana. Arthur's giving. Hey, Veets, will you run to Coach, see if he's got any stats? Anything we can read? Thank you, Arthur, for all your help tonight. You're doing a wonderful job in there producing this game, and Dan Kratzer is making his way to the press box. The teams just had their team meeting. Now they broke into their group meetings, and here comes Dan Kratzer. He'll be with us in about 60 seconds. Hang with us just for a moment here. As I said, an exciting day at Lindenwood College. Both soccer teams winners today, along with the football team. A clean sweep, and it couldn't be a better day at Lindenwood College.
Big chance next week for the Lions to go 2-0 as they take on Culver Stockton in Canton, Missouri. They were 3-5 in the league play last year, 5-5 overall. So definitely a chance for the Lions to get up on the Bearcats, hit on the road, pick up their first win in the conference, and take a 2-0 lead going into their next game against Baker. But we got to take them one game at a time. 35-27, Lindenwood with the big lead and the victory here on opening night at Harlan Hunter Stadium, and you can't ask for anything more than what Dana Day did this evening. Dana Day was all over the place.
Jim, here's head coach Dan Kratzer is going to join us now. Coach Kratzer, what a ball game! You can't ask for anything else. From this game? What an opening night you have here tonight, and I want to talk about Dana Day. What a debut by the kid. Number one, you told me before the game he's explosive and he keeps people in the seats, but what a ball game.
Well, you say what could we ask more? 30 more points. It was an exciting game to watch. It wasn't a really exciting game to coach because we put ourselves in a pinch several times. We're excited about our football team. It was kind of an experiment tonight, really, to see what we did have. And consequently, we found out we've got a real talent in Dana Day.
Yeah, you told me before.
Sorry I'm out of breath.
Hey, that's okay, I understand.
Ran up the stairs.
You told me before the game he keeps people in the seats, and you came out halftime. They kicked the ball deep to him, and he ran the ball 80 yards for the touchdown, and I thought the game may be over. You may be pulled away from this team. They fought back, but your defense answered the call on that big 4th and short call. Craig Birch, Mike Choate, they all stepped up on that big play.
You know, defensively it's an element of confidence, and you know, sometimes you're over-aggressive against a team that's so quick. They have a very quick front offensive line, and their scheme is to hit quick. And if we're not in the gaps, they're going to split some seams, and they did. So They played an outstanding game. Carl Pelker has to be very pleased with the effort that his team put forward. I told him before the game that we sure weren't taking anybody lightly because they're a new program. But the fact is, we're still kind of a new program. We're basically a lot of freshmen. Dana is an upperclassman that transferred in and gives us that added punch that we haven't had before.
Yeah, and as I talked about all night, Max Brown came out early. He threw the interception, and I said, what a year makes. The kid grew up, and he fought back. 11 of 15 in the first half, threw a touchdown, led his team back. Maybe last year he doesn't come back. He keeps throwing, making bad decisions, but he stepped up and made the plays and led his team to victory.
Well, anytime you have a young quarterback, you're going to expect some mistakes. And as coaches, we have to be demanding, but yet we have to be somewhat understanding and creative and learn from mistakes and hope that their judgment improves, as the game progresses. You don't want to get a young man without real strong confidence and pull him out of a game just because of a mistake. And as you said, he fought back. And the team showed some character because, now we are fighting back and we're playing like a team that wants to win.
Yes, sir. And lastly, as athletic director, you have to be pleased with a 3-0 start from all your sports teams today. Soccer teams win today, your football teams win. You've got the performance arena going. What can we expect next from Lindenwood Athletics?
Yeah, geez. Well, I think the sky's the limit, The soccer teams were both concerned about scoring, and the girls scored 3 points, I think, and the boys scored 4, and they had 2 shutouts, so the pressure was on us to have a shutout, and we didn't do that. But we did score 35 points, so maybe that'll take a little bit of the heat off us. But I tell you what, we've got a great group of coaches. They work hard. They're dedicated to Lindenwood College, and we have a group of young athletes that put their priorities first in the classroom and then come out here on Saturdays and Saturday afternoons and Saturday nights and give it their all for the good old wood.
Yes, sir. That's Coach Dan Kratzer. Lindenwood wins 35-27. You've been listening to Lindenwood College football on 89.1 KCLC.